let me do a bit of a recap. I'll do the recap. Don't go off the hook. I'll do the recap for us, and then I'm going to go get another drink, and then when I'm back, we'll actually officially begin. Yeah, it's done. Yeah. So you guys, having arrived in Greenheart, or Drasvertheater, as the elves call it, and as the Resistance sort of like prefers to use in a sort of subtle act of rebellion.
Could you write that down?
Guys, yeah, I can type it in the chat. Dras is Elven for city.
Okay.
So that's just all that means. And then Vertheater, which is green.
Baby.
It's a literal translation. It means green.
City green.
So having arrived and spoiled yourselves with a little bit of shopping, which included, I think, most importantly, some never-ending mugs of ale. You guys had contacted Lady Wormscald, or at least her estate, and being given an appointment for lunch the next day. You spent the night, killed some time in the morning, and then the five of you, including Blackbird, set off to the Dragon Ward.
Me and Jacko's got stuff. Oh wait, that Blackbird wasn't there for that.
That was subsequent. That was subsequent to seeing. I'm like 90% sure.
Yeah, I was inspired by the visit to actually go there. Yeah. So you traveled to the Dragon Ward to see it possibly for the first time for most of you, or for the others of you, discover it in a sorry state. Populated by almost primarily. In fact, I don't think you saw a single metallic dragon while you were there. It's chromatic dragons who have either made truce with, or even in some cases signed an alliance with the Infernal Material Dominion, which are allowed to populate the ancient nests there now. And met with Lady Wormscald. You ended up having lunch with her. A sort of meal that began mostly, you felt, out of her sort of desire for curiosity and interesting company, and then as you guys revealed more and more of your reasons for coming, became a more sort of intriguing event. She sort of dismissed her cook and took over the job herself, and you sat around this big round table and discussed many things deeply. And we won't go into all that again because there was a lot of roleplay. But just to summarize what was discussed, you filled her in on the existence of Sandorix and the ziggurat where you had observed him, and told her more and more about the exact goings on there that you had discovered. And in part, she revealed to you, or spoke to you and discovered with you that. What you had viewed was in fact merely the remaining husk of the ravenous Sandorix, having been sealed away there by ancient men in times before Atlas, to decay, become starved of souls, and finally revert to this sort of mindless, animalistic form of a Ravener husk, which nevertheless, as you guys can attest to, is it's a powerful foe merely on its own. Is not something to be trifled with, but far below the almighty, perhaps even deific power that Sandorix himself would have wielded had he been at the peak of his strength, fed on satiated on souls and seeking the destruction of those around him. She guessed, and people kind of floated like different opinions, but I don't think anyone really contested this idea that the Dominion, as evil and cold-hearted as they are, would seek to try and restore Sandorix to his true power, in exchange for, if not his servitude, then at least his pledge of allegiance. Something which, of course, the forces of hell are more than capable of securing with certitude. Through their use of contracts and promises and their general understanding of that form of magic and binding, making it impossible to sort of speak a lies if you are doing a deal with them. And she said that your, as a group, best hope of defeating Sandorix, or rather heading off the threat that Sandorix poses before it is allowed to become the true threat that it has the potential of being, is to find a Remembrancer's mirror. A Remembrancer being something like a diviner or a fortune teller, but with the power to look into the past rather than into the future. And told you where you might find one, which is why you've come to where you are now. And take that to locations associated with the history of the artifacts that you bear, the relics from Isilmira's hoard, where you might empower them, if not fully, then further beyond the power they have now, which would give them the magical energy and ability to allow you, through means as yet unknown, but Blackbird is working on it, to reverse the ravenous revival, reanimation that Sandorix achieved long ago in the hieroglyphics and carvings that you saw in his ziggurat, and revert him to the form of, well, nothing more than a common skeleton, I suppose, completely, defeating him for all time. That taking on such a being head on, and even in his husk form, is beyond the abilities of almost any mortal. Very few would have such strength, and doing it in his final form would be nigh on impossible. And so, reversing the ritual, finding a sort of a circumvention, would be your best bet. There was some discussion back and forth on what exactly could be done. I remember at one point Beck even suggested that simply seeking a means by which Sandora could be revived fully without
at any cost,
without being bonded to the material dominion, would pose a threat that they would be forced to confront in a major way, divert many resources away, perhaps even weaken or cripple them, which was it was certainly not unworth considering. But nevertheless, you guys took the advice of Lady Wormscold, and at least decided to seek out the mirror that she had described, and put the option of undoing the ravenous reanimation in your back pocket should you need it. After that meeting, after which you passed on very good terms, and I think you felt you had something of an ally in her, albeit she is in a position where she is quite regarded and by the Dominion and restricted in her ability to offer direct aid to the resistance. You travelled from there to the orchard, where with Leon, where Leon encountered his divine spirit, his divine entity, or something, perhaps a messenger of hers, something in such a form, and in something of a demiplane, where he was spirited away to in the Orchard of the Guardians, and was granted a mighty weapon, a weapon at least 3 times mightier than the weapon he had before, a weapon of significant might, and returned, encouraging the party greatly. Yeah, spent another night. You hung out at a ground level inn tavern, saw with the less elven crew. Had a good evening. Drank yourselves not into oblivion, but into a happy state. Spent the night, and in the morning departed to head north out of Greenheart towards the Sandaroth, where the advice you had been given is that on the outskirts of town there is a former elven noble, Claire Shadowrunner, residing in her family's ancestral estate, whose family had once been the rulers of Deepwood in the days before the fall of Atlas, who would know where exactly the tomb of Lirael, the last Remembrancer, might be found nearby. You were warned that she would be likely hard to persuade to aid you, but that if you seek the Remembrancer's mirror, there are a few others that you could go to in that particular recourse. When we had left off, you guys had just travelled up north to Lysandaroth, a town whose name I consistently regret. Downriver somewhat, reconnoitered around this hex, and eventually, at the end of the previous day, had found
Shadowrunner Lodge, which is this large sort of House of Elrond type structure, quite isolated. Again, it is very much outside of the main sort of urban development of Lysanderoth, which sort of snakes its way through this river valley in the heart of Deepwood. And yeah, I believe if I check the last thing that was rolled, traveling. Then there was athletic.
Okay, and it's just before the house, right? We saw the vision.
Yes. Okay, so we rested, then we store it. So yeah, so it's there. You either found it, and it is now sort of mid-evening, or not mid.
No.
Like it's like sort of 6 or 7 o'clock. Like the sun is set. The sun sets pretty early in Deepwood. The natural sort of bowl-shaped valley of the whole land means that when it sets in the west, it falls behind the curvature of the land. Earlier than it does in a lot of other parts of the world. So it's been dark a couple of hours even here. Well, no, but the way Deepwood is shaped, so Deepwood is...
Deepwood isn't flat, but the rest is.
Okay.
Well, no, I mean, as you travel down from northwards, Deepwood, you end up traveling kind of downhill to get into that from northward, and then the whole land is sloped up in the west, down to the east.
No, that's like...
Yeah, so no, it's but the whole land is down here. Is you've descended somewhat in altitude, and the river flows along along the slope of Deepwood from west to east.
Dude, can I just say that was a very
go on.
comprehensive recap. I finished my whole pizza during that time.
Well, there you go.
That was very nice.
Wanted you guys
Why
to,
did we
you guys,
play last
you guys
session? You could have told us that.
yeah, we told you what happened. I mean, I had why do I let you guys roleplay?
Read out this session, Chris.
Goddamn. I do have a question. So the name is Claia or Claire?
It's pronounced Claire, but it's spelled Claeer. Like that.
Nah,
Okay, I wrote down Claire.
I don't mind it being Claire, but not spelled the normal way.
Also, I wrote down Melium, and I think it's to do with Lady Wormskull's
Yeah,
dog.
he was the rather impassive elf who you believe to be an assistant of Lady Wormskull. He's met you at the dock and brought you down to her.
I didn't write down any details. Yeah, thank you.
So I kind of look up at this like.
Hey, I need a drink. Yeah, I mean you roll very well.
Yeah, I like look up. Really fancy lodge. Like, alright. Now they said she's not exactly gonna be happy to tell us this tomb location, right? That's what Wormskull said.
Yeah, I'm thinking on second thought, maybe we should have brought a bottle of wine.
Oh, I mean, we could give her an endless mug. Surely that's way better than like one bottle of wine.
Are you really ready to part with yours so soon?
I didn't say my.
We both look at Zoms at the same time.
Are we gonna like? Do we have anything to offer? Or are we gonna be like, hey, can you like? For instance, like, are we saying why we need it? Like, she's an elf, right? So she's probably isn't a big fan of the resistance.
Considering she's no longer noble because of the Dominion, I suppose she has some resentment at least. I mean, the house is still pretty nice, so...
But are we like gonna... Well, what's the fucking plan? I mean, obviously, I'm assuming you're gonna do most of talking, Leon. Do you know what you're
Oh, no. If we can help it, I'd rather not. I'm really not good with those fancy types.
I kind of look around at us.
I mean, Braun, yeah.
Please say you're good with the fancy types then. But no offense, Zoms, but even if you're good with them, they might not be good with you.
I'm not good with noble types. Not good with most types.
Gromokul, you're the most one well versed with Elvish culture, I guess. So you up for doing convincing?
Look, yeah, I mean, it's a good question. Do we speak the truth? Do we show artifacts?
I really doubt they're gonna be convinced to listen to 4 fucking random strangers if there's no some reason why we're important or we are.
On second thought, maybe wine isn't the best call considering they have an orchard. Right.
They probably have fed up a cider.
Right. Maybe we should go head into town, see if we can find a nice housewarming gift.
I mean, I kind of look up to the house, like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to get them with a gift. I think we're gonna have to actually convince them it's worth giving us. Or maybe that's something they need help with. I don't know.
That'd be nice.
I was gonna say, I assume that they don't have any love for the.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
So
but still, that doesn't mean they're gonna
I
help
think
us.
it might require some convincing on why they should go out of their way, because again, it puts them in danger for assisting us potentially.
Look, I mean, they don't really have to say anything, right? All they have to do is we should get a map of the area. We lay it out on the table.
I pull one out of my bag.
All she has to do.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
great.
was like, you must have
But I mean, like a local one though.
Type thing, right? It's
Like
the
a yeah, we need a local one with the mountains, I think, and then she can maybe like without using any words even
you
just
think they'll be willing to help us if they don't have to say anything. I kind of,
yeah. Look,
They just point at the map and say go.
there's talk of
I have
listening
a feeling
ears.
It'll require a little bit more, because my guess is we're gonna end up in a graveyard and have to do some grave digging.
Nah, it's like a hidden tomb. I won't be the great.
Hope someone brought a shovel.
Yeah.
My big old meaty fist hands.
Yeah, it's just again, the sword
Yeah, you've
double
done
shovel.
it. You dug that trench for that farmer one time with it. Oh no, he lent you. He lent you a
The
hoe.
the price of helping, he just like took the hoe and the shovel. I think these are mine now.
It's mine now. You have trench, I have hoe.
Man, if only we had a shifting room, we could like turn our weapons.
Oh,
into
man.
Okay, so but of course the information that we have. Sorry, I should have wrote this down more.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
The ancestor with the mirror, the diviner, was called Lyriel. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It was a hidden tomb. Is it in the mountains or is it just near the mountains?
She described it
like
as being among the mountains.
Among the mountains. Okay, that's pretty vague.
Among
Okay.
us. Pretty stuff.
Yeah.
Great reference. Okay. Yeah.
I think honestly, like, that would kind of be straight with them. Like, if we try and ask for this location, they're gonna be like, "Why the fuck do you want to know?" And I can't see a convincing lie about why I'd want to dig up someone's fucking ancestor.
Alright, but look, there's a reason the mirror is probably still lost, right? I mean, a thing like that, it's probably worth a pretty penny. So, they're gonna want it back.
Do we need to keep it? We need it, right? We need to.
Yeah.
We need it wherever
I
we
don't
go.
like we get it, then we just fucking leave.
Sure.
Right, but you're saying we promise her that she's gonna get it and then we skip town.
If she's like, "I'm only telling you if we promise," then I reckon us getting the mirror and saving the fucking world more important.
That's a white lie, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, we also, again, we make the promise that we will bring it back, with the idea that it's when we're done with it.
If that makes you feel better, sure. I don't, like either way, we're like drinking it.
It's a bit of a small tax situation.
Hey,
But
she doesn't read the small text. That's her
If that
problem.
makes you feel better about doing it, I don't care. But I'm happy to say we'll bring it back right away and then just not do that. Like, if it's
look, amongst all things we've done, that's
I
really a
would
sacrifice I'm willing
bring
to
it
make.
back after we've used it for our
sure,
purpose.
once we fucking save the wolf from an evil and then dragon, I'll pop right along. I'm sure we'll have a weekend off right after that. I'm hoping.
We deserve one, yeah.
But then, yeah, alright, like.
Of a grand old time.
Look,
Party and
we're
everything.
not gonna convince them to give us a fucking ancient mirror of seeing the past without having a good fucking reason for having it. And it's a
Right.
good fucking reason, right? That we're doing it to fucking,
Yeah.
stop an undead dragon from fucking, I don't know, killing us.
Right, so we're gonna go in there, make it seem, I know this is hard for us, but we're gonna make it seem like we're the experts on the whole situation. We're the ones who know what to do and how to stop it.
Well,
And we're the task
Sort of
force.
right now.
People maybe you have.
Yeah.
That's maybe an easier sell, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no offense, Leon, but
Look, I don't really know what I'm doing most of the time.
look, yeah, I think maybe not telling the whole truth. We don't need to openly be like, we are the fucking resistance, but
Yeah, let's keep that part out of
Well,
it.
let's definitely avoid that if we can. But we can't. We
But
can start with-
we don't claim allegiance with the Dawn, alright? That is a little too far. Yeah, and that probably will work against her
Again,
even.
we judge their reaction to
If we walk
what
in,
they,
and it's
they're worried of this. But
then
the other reason is not just to end Sandorix, right? There's this general sense and worry that the Dominion turns him
Yeah, of
as a
course,
weapon
yeah.
against everyone else.
Yeah.
That's the bigger
Boom.
concern.
I've got a great idea. Listen to me. Alright. She's gonna ask the question, are you with the Dawn? because I hate them fuckers. And then you in a grand show of force grab the bag with all them badges in it, throw it on the table, it spills everywhere.
We've been fired so many
37 times, you know.
I mean, yeah,
It's gonna make a stay.
That's one fucking way to change
Right.
them.
Sure.
But I mean, there's only one way to really know how it's gonna go. I mean, we don't know anything about the fucker. Like,
Well, for one, I think it's a woman. But,
women can't be fuckers.
oh, I suppose they can. I just haven't really
You see,
called one.
Come on.
Got him.
Stop living in the past.
Alright, this lady fucker. Alright, is that bad when we go up and we meet this lady? And
Alright, bro. I'll try and support you every way I can. But are you okay with leading the bird?
You want me to?
Yeah, well,
Sure.
yeah. I mean, you're.
I mean, you are better with words than I am, but okay.
I don't really. I mean,
If I was to give myself an average of how good I think I am at something, I would say it's the equivalent of a +1. So maybe.
that's really not that good.
let me see what is actually my.
I feel like me. I'm pretty -1 if I feel like the idiot to you.
True,
you
true.
know? As
Yeah.
good as you are.
I'm better at lying to people. To be,
Great, when you
to
can
be
be
really
the one
honest.
that we're gonna be.
Alright, well, I suppose I'm alright with coming out with it and saying what I mean.
Common folk, I'm sure
It's
True.
but if there's any like etiquette I'm breaking or whatever with these types, just let me know. Alright, well, if everybody's ready.
No point. Yeah, no point waiting till tomorrow. Still be awake as fucking elves. Let's go.
So Holmes, you wanna maybe you're good. No, it's okay.
Brush your teeth.
Stay hidden behind you,
Yeah, yeah.
someone.
I mean,
Have a
it's
breath mint.
nothing more being a goblin zombie, not in today's day and age.
Well,
That's true.
The world's changing.
They're kind of like-
He could be
But
doing.
better. I mean, yes, that's fair enough.
You could also be dead.
What else?
You're neither. So things are looking up.
Leon thinks back to all those goblin villages that are being burned by the Dominion.
Alright, let's fucking push on, man. Let's get this done with.
So you guys continue along.
Yeah, what time is it?
About 7 o'clock in the evening,
Okay,
6,
cool.
6, 7 in the evening. It's it's like the sun is set, the day's travel is done.
We'll just slide it in dinner, it's perfect.
Yes.
Formal.
You didn't. I thought you invited.
We rang ahead.
I got this badly forged dinner invitation right here. Yeah. No, you guys continue along the sort of the winding dirt path that you've discovered. More of a sort of woodsman's trail than anything that's ever seen a wagon. That snakes its way up towards Shadowrunner Lodge. For the last sort of 30 feet or so, it follows along the bank of the river before coming to a set of wooden stairs that step upwards to the slightly raised platform surrounding the main building that goes at the front of the cluster of buildings together that make the lodge.
Wait, real quick. We decided against like removing our weapons and armor because it's like it shows that we're like mean business, right?
Also, I don't want to fuck with us.
I like both fronts. Let's go. Okay, yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Those of you who are unable to see in the dark are the whole trail is pretty shadowy and difficult to make out at this point. But the various buildings of Shadowrunner Lodge are lit themselves at this time by a scattering of sort of magical weir lights and soft glowing lanterns that do more to define than illuminate the shapes there, but it's visible to you, and with the help of the others, you're at least able to follow the path up.
I mean,
to
if
it.
there's any bit that's actually difficult, I got the torch there. But
Yeah. The last sort of stretch of road, within the sort of the grounds of the lodge, alongside the river is flanked on either side by sequential statues of various elven figures. All of them seem to have been how to describe. There's a couple of spellcasters among the 6 of them, but the rest are dressed in kind of, as people might imagine, standard sort of elven leather armor.
cloaks and boots similar, not dissimilar at all to what Brom is wearing. Bows across their backs or daggers at their hips, seeming to venerate, and indeed, of those who can read Elven runes and could just stop and read the inscriptions below them, see that they are representative of various members of House Shadowrunner from over the years. No, none of them seem to have a mirror of any kind. Not obviously, anyway.
Never easy.
You guys ascend the sort of short flight of cat wants out. Hang on, missing.
You don't know it like this. Maybe just really likes the door.
I'm sorry. Towards the cat.
You guys ascend the flight of wooden steps, presumably leaving your mounts at the bottom, unless someone wants to ride their horse up to the front door.
Ooh, it's about to make a great scene.
Horseways.
Okay, yeah, let's leave. The horses.
Is it horse spelt H-O-A-R-S-E? Like, I got a
I
horse.
think I bothered spelling it in my mind.
The horse.
Oh, no.
Just one letter, like horse.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the letter horse. What do you mean? You guys, dismount and ascend up the stairs to, like a sort of a wide. It's a partially wooden but partially earthen sort of. It's an earthen bank, shored and extended around its edges with a bit of a wooden platform that the stairs lead up to. And then the earthen parts of it, there's a reasonable herb garden growing with the odd sort of fruit tree scattered here or there between it. And you guys make your way towards the front door. And as you do, can everyone Giami a perception check, please?
Can do, boss.
No passive perception in this one.
Oh, Leon had some fancy glasses.
Okay. Zombs, you catch the briefest flicker of movement, but the others are all caught completely unawares as there is the twang of a bowstring, and suddenly an arrow sprouts from the earth right between your feet, Zombs, sticking into the ground, like exactly between your feet, a couple of inches from either foot. And you guys kind of are looking around for the source of it until you follow Zom's gaze to where he saw the movement, and you spot an elven woman, dressed in a hood up, a long flowing robe behind her, a short bow clutched in her right hand, and a pair of short swords at her hip, regarding you coolly. With dark eyes, that's exact color is hard to make out in the level of darkness, but are some dark shade of blue or violet, or perhaps even jet black themselves. She seems to be regarding you coolly and says, "Who are you to have come upon my abode so abruptly?"
Still my hands raised, I'll say, we come in peace, I swear you this. I am Leon, and these are my friends. We have come here to discuss an important matter.
She's standing no more than 20 feet or so away from the party, in the shade of one of the fruit trees, just to the left of the path. It's sort of like slightly not disturbing, but a little puzzling to have not spotted her until the arrow is in flight. But there's not really many places she could be hiding. Yes, those cloaks, or perhaps she is just very stealthy.
Magic.
And she says, "Indeed. Speak swiftly, then."
Well, first of all, it's an honor to meet one of your line, Lady Shadowrunner. This is why we've come to speak. There's information that we need of one of your history.
It's hard at the at the best of times to tell exactly where an elf is looking because of the nature of their eyes. But yeah, those who are sort of, and I mean, all of you at this point, obviously paying attention to her and watching closely, can sort of get a general sense that her, just in the direction of her head, she seems to be mostly fixed on Zombs. And says, "So, it's questions you come with."
Indeed. We do not wish to be too much of a disturbance. We'll be as short as we can.
Yourselves then, that I may know who it is intrudes upon my time.
Well, I'm Leon from Laconia.
I'm back.
Zombs.
Brahmak, son of Arketa.
You don't see, as you say that, Bromok, you don't see any sort of like flicker of recognition or acknowledgement or anything cross her face. But once you've all done introducing yourselves, she does sling her bow. She doesn't unstring it, but slings it with the bow across her back and the string across her chest, sort of resting across her. And says, "Well, by the looks of you, you have come some distance. I suppose it would be terribly rude not to invite you inside." And she sort of strides towards the wooden double doors before you, which are closed, and sort of pushes them both open and says, "Enter then, that we may speak." She does have a sort of a slight air of impatience about her.
Look to the rest, I'm like, give a thumbs up.
Illegal, right? She's breaking the law by having 2 pairs of short swords, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I believe
I
you
mean,
are.
no, it's good knowledge, right? If she's carrying like illegal weapons openly, it's good knowledge.
Well, so again, there's this weird thing where it's kind of like it's illegal to carry them in cities, right?
I thought they were illegal in general. If they're not like
No.
I thought it was like livestock.
No, magical weapons are illegal in general.
Yeah.
Martial weapons that aren't classified as civil weapons are illegal anywhere inside a city.
These looked very sharp to me. I reckon magical. I trust that she is an enemy.
I
of the
wouldn't
dawn.
doubt that they are, by the way, but it's just
More family heirlooms,
that, so.
Did I see any runes on them, Chris?
Not so much in the dark, no.
Unfortunately.
Did you see them at all?
Running torch out and like a real.
Are those illegal swords you're carrying there?
And actually, as far as darkness goes, like there's a couple of sort of like softly glowing weir lights casting the interior of this hall she's open in dim light, but it is not bright in there at all. It does seem like a pretty sort of dark and gloomy place.
Yeah, I'll look to the rest and
Or
say,
low lights, I suppose, is classified in Pathfinder 2.
And that was supposed to be the easy part. Well,
Easy. You didn't get shot at, right? Just near.
sorry, pal. Looking at his arms.
It was a warning shot. It's fine.
Alright.
It's okay.
Either way, good news.
It's okay.
for us.
Yeah, it's just it's pretty bad age. Like Matt won it and then just decided to go with it. Like
Played it all.
Hey, casual.
transition from the ambush into the greetings.
Yeah, what every player tries to do. Yeah.
Alright, yeah, I mean, I like.
Mm,
With Leon, I mean, yeah, I look
Let's go.
looking at Leon. Okay, yeah, that's good.
Okay, yeah.
De facto party leader. Go ahead.
You guys find yourselves as you head forward.
It's responsibility.
You enter the gloomy interior of this wooden hall, which by comparison to other, and I mean this is generally true of Lysandra Rock as well, but by comparison to Greenheart, where all of the buildings were sort of naturally grown out of living trees, the architecture here is, I guess, more akin to what you expect from other races. This building is like constructed out of dead wooden logs. I'm not sure if trees were cut down or naturally dead trees were found to supply the wood, which is possibly what you'd more imagine as being aware of elven philosophy and stuff. But back in the sand, well, I mean, so aware of like their philosophy of clearly not wanting to cut down trees and build things out of them that you sort of generally experienced in Greenheart. You might imagine that they don't kill living trees to create their buildings, but even the Sandaroth itself, as you pass through the city, had like stone buildings or clay buildings, thatch roofs, buildings constructed of wood and stuff. Like it wasn't. There were certainly some of the sort of typical elven tree houses that you experience in North. Sorry.
Have a larger non-elven presence than we know.
Not that you noticed, no. It's in fact possibly even less. Greenheart being the capital seems to have you know, like a fair presence of other races, even if they're just passing through.
I know
The
why.
Sentinel certainly had its share, but definitely not more than Greenheart, and possibly even less.
It's because the trees are so evil here, like they don't mind. It's because of that. Yeah. Correct the case.
But yeah, you enter this kind of gloomy interior and find yourselves, at first in. I mean, this is quite a large, like, multi-story building, at least 3 stories tall. And the space you find yourselves in is a wide entrance hall. It has like a ceiling 2 stories tall, and about halfway up the wall on 3 sides, except for the side with the door, there's a balcony going round. It's about itself like 5 to 10 feet wide, depending on exactly where it is, with doors leading off to other interior passages and rooms on the inside. There isn't like the kind of what you would expect in a human home, like the sort of the grand, a human noble's home, sort of the grand double size staircase going up in the middle and potentially splitting off to either side. There's just on the right a single like a single width regular flight of steps that leads up to the balcony of the upper level. Then the whole expanse of the ground floor, again with a couple of doors leading off here and there to other parts, is relatively nicely furnished. There's rugs, there's chairs, and also sort of in stark distinction, I mean, depends on your point of view, I suppose, but relative distinction to the habits and so forth of other elves that you've seen. There's an array of, not like an enormous array, but a selection of hunting trophies adorning the walls. A head of stags, bears, and even a couple of sort of like more or less mundane creatures, including the head of a well, I guess, I mean, people could roll me nature or arcana or so forth to determine exactly what some of these things might be.
Sure.
Can you just tell me what it looks like, Chris?
Over.
Zoms and Leon, you guys both identify it as the head of a Remor has. A sort of ice worm, or fire-breathing worm from the frozen reaches of mountain peaks or icy tundras. Amongst the more mundane selection. Again, your eyes, as your eyes sort of like adjust to the gloom you've stepped into, you again kind of have to search to spot Claire Shadowrunner, who it is that you have been introduced to, who moves with kind of like elven grace, dexterity, and very lightly on her feet through the space. You see her standing by a selection of leather chairs, again all in darkness, although there is an unlit hearth in this part of the room, centered around a bearskin rug on the floor. And you see, like as your eye guys adjust and you spot her, you see that she's sort of beckoning you over wordlessly.
All right.
I'm gonna take a piss real quick as you guys decide whether or not you want to sit down or attack her.
Let's attack it.
On the count of 3, let's all declare what we want to do.
Yeah, the warriors have to
1,
come in.
2, 3, attack! Oh shit.
And if we're deadlocked, then the vote goes to
Chris?
Whoever rolls initiative first.
Okay. Well, I don't give you guys the benefit?
You don't need it. I get my fighter benefit anyway. It's the same.
Ah.
Again, cheating, man.
I'll just roll with diplomacy and like beat you anyway.
Yeah. But I was looking through like later stuff with Ranger. I feel like it just never gets super strong.
Like just a similar power level.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of waiting like for that moment. I'm like, oh, I at this point is when I feel like I really get something that makes the class like just hit its stride, right? And I definitely felt like that with Elandria, right, with the fighter. Like, there's definitely a lot in a fighter that makes me feel that way, and I haven't felt that yet with the Ranger. And looking at the future stuff, I'm like, I don't see a lot there just yet. Like, you're fighting a whole bunch of low AC little guys. there's this cool volley thing. It's 3 actions. I'm gonna make a -2 attack at every one of them within a certain 10-foot radius circle or something.
But like consistency isn't bad.
Animal companion, that's cool as fuck.
We saw how that worked out real quickly.
Misha was great. What are you talking about?
No, Misha, run!
The thing that I remember is that she was on fire or running away, like,
Or being
all the
eaten.
time.
That could have been me on fire running away, but it wasn't. Misha.
I mean, that's true. Konstantin had like a love of Misha that like was often like, no, Misha, get out of there. You took some damage. You're only at 80% health now, Misha. Get out of there.
Exactly.
And a kind of a care and attentiveness that Konstantin didn't necessarily have for his party members.
Yeah. It's like what I would do if I tried to take Loki into battle. Like, there's no way I'd let him actually get damaged ever.
Never told me if they would get death saving throws or they just die.
No, I think they just die, but I can retrain them within a week or something.
That's not the same.
No, they definitely get death saving throws. You
Yeah.
can.
I don't know. I don't think we ever talked about which way I didn't want them.
I think there's a rule for it. I remember reading, but I don't know which way it goes.
This is the D&D equivalent of
Whatever.
animals go to heaven type. Like,
First thing it says in
Love
the
it.
core rules is ignore anything here that you don't want to. So.
it's true.
I think we've decided to sit down, by the way.
Okay, cool. Right,
Yeah.
okay.
It was close though. It was very close. But there were still some people demanding a recount. So
But in the meantime, we're gonna go ahead and win the election. Yeah.
So yeah, you guys situate yourselves in her vicinity again. As you sit yourselves down and get a better look at her in the low light glowing through this room. She's definitely sort of still keeping her eyes on Zoms.
I give Zoms a look. Is he doing so? Does he look really bad today or something like especially? Like I've been with him a while. Does he look kind of like shit just in general?
I mean,
It's curious.
he's-
Like,
his grooming isn't really any worse than your own at the
Yeah.
moment.
yeah, I mean, I have dreadlocks because it's just part of the style.
That doesn't help.
I
at all.
can't watch it.
Very
But
unhygienic.
like, I mean, in general, does he just look like crap? And I'm just used to it. Like, do we get?
This is the first time you take a good look at zones.
Like,
Here-
here's Tom. I kind of like look at Tom. I'm like,
the problem that we have is the only other, I think, goblins that we have seen so far in this campaign have all been like being burned, actively like dead and being burned.
Right?
Yeah, there's a few around.
But like,
There's not many.
when we're traveling through towns, do other people look at zombies this way, like a bit?
Occasionally, but not rarely with this like intensity, and not commonly. Not
It's
not so much these
They
days.
look
Goblins
more-
have definitely gotten a lot more common.
Yeah.
Well, I say a lot more common. I mean, it's a relative term. They're still pretty rare. But since the fall of Atlas, and various like goblin tribes have been sort of
integrated.
integrated, forcefully by the Dawn sort of protocol towards these things.
Is she looking at zombies the same way Bromok looks when they hunt prey? So that same intense stare.
And by that you mean like, I do this. Wait, what is it called again?
It's not a completely.
Hunter's mark. Fuck no.
That's a
Damn
look
it.
at the way she has all
It's
these.
not a completely dissimilar look.
No. Oh no.
Squint him and then look back at her.
Or is it the more traditional sensing motive look?
No, it doesn't sound like that.
Nah, we do that all the time.
So you guys, but you guys
familiar with that
will
one.
seat yourselves, and as you sort of seat yourselves and get a closer look at her in this low light that sort of shines, you notice that she's actually wearing
Goblin, maybe.
well, you're not. I guess you're not sure if it's like if it's war paint or tattoos on her face. Her skin is relatively dark for an elf. It's not like Drow's kind of like royal blue, navy blue, kind of almost midnight sort of skin. But somewhere half towards it, you wouldn't be surprised to learn that there may have been some Drow in her not too distant
It's
ancestry.
only slightly evil, I like it.
And yeah,
Do we know how many
war paint
generations
Oh, sorry, go on.
between her and the woman that we're going after? The Remember, or whatever.
No, the other one was called Lyriel, so probably also.
As far as you're aware, I mean, you might have reached assumptions on your own.
I think it was a few hundred years ago.
Told by Lady Wormskull, they're not actually related.
Oh.
They are just the Remembrances had a place here, or at least Lyra, the last Remembrancer, did, and this family, having been the lords of the land at the time,
Oh,
were sort of familiar with them and
I misunderstood as well.
You don't.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like.
I'm
it's
glad
not
that
like
I have that clarification because I would
Yeah.
have been like, your ancestor.
Yeah, no, it's not like a you know, like something that would be weird to assume given what you know. But you haven't been given any like direct, you know, this was an ancestor of hers. Simply that that House Shadowrunner was sort of the guardians of his land and would know where the tomb might have been.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'll...
But yeah, sorry. As I was saying, the war paint, it's kind of like it's in sort of streaks or lines across her face, like kind of tapered to points. But it's not. It's only visible when it catches the light, which is why I didn't notice it at first. When you see it straight on, there's no like evidence of any like different coloration or anything. It's not like red on her like dark skin or anything. It seems to be the same color. But when the light reflects on it, it's like there's a sort of like a shiny sort of like layer there. I mean, if I had to describe it, you know, unromantically, like sort of like, you know, as a sort of cling film or something across the face at that point. Like it catches the light in a kind of more reflective way.
Is it easy to notice a pattern like in these lines, or is it just...
Yeah, it's symmetrical across her face, and it's kind of, I mean, it's hard to see because you never catch all of the lines at the same time depending on how the light strikes them, and it's only for a moment when her head turns one way or the other, but it's sort of tiger stripes to them.
Okay. Ooh.
Or something akin to that anyway. But it's a range of sort of stripes, like perhaps one down across each eye and then like a couple coming in like on each cheek.
Alright. Well, after being seated, I'll say...
Yeah.
Basically, Artemis from Hades.
Yeah, actually, you know, I hadn't even had that in mind, but yeah, not dissimilar at all.
I'll say, do you mind if I light a lantern in here? I apologize, my eyes aren't quite as good as yours.
Make yourselves at home, why don't you?
Okay. Yeah, I'll take some time to light the
How
lantern.
much sarcasm was that laced with?
How do you like get, you know, the lantern?
40% sarcasm?
Okay.
I grab like the ever-burning torch and kind of like, is that like a desk between us or something? Like a table or anything?
It's just the bearskin rug on the...
Kind of throw the torch into the... It can't burn stuff like that. Ever-burning torch.
Yeah, it's a cold.
Oh, okay. Make yourself at home.
burn.
Yeah, you just chuck a light down, which kind of casts everyone in a slightly, a slightly grim, lit from beneath kind of
Yeah.
way. The shadows flicker slightly oddly.
Just the way we like it, yeah.
Yeah, and now with a direct light source, like those tattoos are more visible than they were in the dim light.
Oh,
And
thank you.
she's not sort of like death glaring Zoms the whole time. Like her vision moves from each of you to each of you, but she sort of always ends up coming back to him.
We all get a death glare.
I assure you, by the way, I mean, I've heard the same stories about goblins and their escapades, but Zoms here, he's an exception to the rule. I assure you.
You've heard the stories, have you?
Oh yes, luckily I've never been victim to it myself, but I mean their brutalities are...
Goblins have you fought?
Wait, we fought some trolls, right? Never any goblins, I think. Oh no, we fought like a few, like a couple, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, but like in our journeys, I mean. Only a couple, if any.
How many have you killed?
Personally? I don't remember. I don't think many.
Comes over here, the full like murderer.
As I said, I was fortunate, and from what I'm gathering, you might not have been. Kind of like give her like an uncertain look.
I and my ancestors have not always had cordial relations with their kind. They tend to seek to plunder our lands, rob our homes, desecrate our graves.
I look at Zoms. How likely does it look like he would do those things?
Shrink behind someone.
Zoms is pretty young. I doubt it was him.
Well, if it's an issue, I'm sure we wouldn't mind.
And as you start to say, I kind of put my head up. I'm like, no, Zoms is a trusted member of our group here. He's a companion and a friend. We can
It
vouch for
says
him.
more about you than it says about him.
that as it may be, I will not just forsake one of my friends because you've had bad history with others of his race or species.
She
it's okay.
she fixes her vision pretty closely on you at this point. It's a steely glare, Bromok, but you sense a
Hunt prey.
like a measure.
Hunt prey up, let's go, bitch.
A measure of kind of acknowledgement there.
Yeah.
You know, like, but nevertheless, she responds like with a modicum of snark. You know, have I not invited him into my home? Much as it pains me.
And again, we thank you.
So speak
And
then. Ask your questions, or are you waiting to be fed and watered?
Kind of look around. There's no tables laid or anything.
Not in this room, anyway. It's not. They've got the sort of air of a feast hall to it.
So I kind of go back, then, just tilt my head back towards Leon to continue.
Well. Alright, well, as you can tell from us, we are a separate bunch of individuals who have come together by happenstance. I guess the most apt way to describe us would be to call us problem solvers. We are quite good at finding and creating solutions for them.
A lot of problems in the world.
Yeah, and we have stumbled upon a bit of a big one. And I don't know how much you know from your collection of trophies. I guess that you are a bit knowledgeable about aberrations and dangers to nature. We have stumbled across an undead dragon. Some evil creation that's, with all right, should not be here. And we intend to fix that.
Horizon narrow somewhat, coming close to slits. She says, I see.
I assure you, I know it's a tall tale, but I speak the truth.
Whom exactly are you solving this problem? Problem solvers?
Well, you can call us...
More like mercenaries to me.
You can call us many things, but I believe each and every one of us to be humanitarians.
Man, if only I knew what I might have.
Yeah.
You
We're
declare
not-
then that you have no patron. You are in no one's employ. You are simply seeking to solve this problem out of the goodness of your own hearts because you came across it.
I started to nervously sweat. The lying.
So I kind of
That's difficult for
right.
you.
So I definitely get the sense, right, from her. Obviously, I don't think there's going to be any love here for the Dawn, but I'm guessing there's probably something about the Resistance that she's not a huge fan of either. But I do say,
Sense motive.
Again, you ask who we are looking to help, and realistically, this creature, the possibility of it returning to its even greater power, is a danger to all of those within Atlas. I don't know what your. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, give me a persuasion check, please.
Which is.
Can I have aided on this?
Diplomacy.
Well, I mean, I guess it's more. I guess put it like, yeah, it's more. I mean, yeah, you're doing the speaking right now, but everyone's spoken. I guess. Okay, no, put it like this. Either you or Leon could roll. Between the two of you, don't really.
Leon, please.
Leon.
You're both kind of. Yeah.
I mean, hey, if you want to aid me, or do you don't risk it?
That's not big. I'd probably give it a smash or something somehow.
Okay, diplomacy. I might.
Pretty good diplomacy.
Okay, yeah. So you see her sit back a bit in her chair. She can kind of like lean forwards, elbows on her knees at this point. She sits back a bit and says, "All right then. I'll trust for now that you have no strict ulterior motive nor moneyed patron that has sent you before me. So go ahead. Speak what you may, and I will judge your words for the true value of them."
Alright, well. Trouble solvers as we are not experts on everything. So we have asked around, and your family name still holds power in Drasfarjata. I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, we were sent here because of the solution to our particular problem. Apparently, we require the help of a diviner. And our research has shown that, unfortunately, those individuals have passed many hundreds of years ago. The last one being around here, a half-elf named Luriel. Now we are in dire need of the artifact that they had, this mirror, in order to put a stop to something that might as well be a danger to all of humanity.
Well, I don't have it.
We wouldn't presume that you do, but we're looking here for answers. If you have any leads or information about this particular item or the tomb that it might be stored in, we would be grateful.
Predictable. Tomb robbers, I knew it. I should have guessed the moment I set eyes upon you. What is this? You brought him here so that he might hear my words and go back to his clan, his huddle, to tell them where and when he might find and rob us.
Do not presume that we are grave robbers. That is incorrect. We come to you seeking advice and assistance in this cause.
You come to me seeking a powerful and ancient artifact that correctly you surmise I know where it is. And by the words of your companion, you have some idea where it is as well. Yes, it rests within the tomb of Luriel. And yes, I know where that is. Now explain to me, why in this world would I possibly divulge that information to you?
I'll speak frankly. Do you care about this world?
More than you could know.
Okay. Do you have an affinity for the Dominion? For the New Dawn? I thought not. It actually kind of like automatically says that.
It just snorts. That's
yeah.
No further
I thought not. The New Dawn intends to use this creature to make it swear a pact to restore it to its power, to wipe out any form of resistance and anyone who would not swear fealty to the Dominion.
And
if you care if you care about that, you will help us. If you don't, go on then. I understand the way it seems, but we've spoken nothing but the truth here.
I'm afraid you will have to explain yourselves in a good deal more detail than that, if I am to trust you at your word. How could this artifact that you seek possibly relate in any way to the demise of this undead dragon you claim to have knowledge of?
Can I sense
more? Are you familiar
motive?
with the purpose? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll a GR perception check.
Okay. Meantime,
while he's doing that, Brom just kind of continues this. Are you familiar with the purpose of the mirror? What its intended use is for?
She does seem genuinely not to know the answer to that question as she asks it, Leon.
Okay.
To you, Bromok, she says, I'm aware of the power it holds, and the art that Luriel practiced to which it was put. She was a remembrancer. A lesser form of diviner, or lesser known, I should say, but not wholly uncommon and unheard of in our lands. And?
So we intend to use the mirror to look into the past, again, to seek the history of specific other artifacts so that we may then empower those to defeat this creature. We have no idea of the entire history of these artifacts that we hold, but we do know they hold the power to defeat this creature.
What artifacts are these? You have not spoken of them until now.
Kind of like just kind of grab the necklace off my neck and just like toss it out.
He just throws this thing around. I love it.
Yeah, just like I mean, it's tough. You know, if dragon teeth weren't tough, they wouldn't be dragon teeth.
Exactly. This has survived a long, long time. It was like kind of fun.
It's like a Nokia, man.
It was like I was given a shit by a fucking dragon. You believe that? It's like fucking don't some days.
Beck's gonna come in and just like
She looks at it and looks back at you and says, I do believe it. If only because it would be a very strange thing to make up.
We've each been granted one of these artifacts by an ancient dragon named Silmira.
Is that name supposed to mean anything to me?
No.
Still doesn't mean anything to me.
Just an ancient great brass dragon. Her last decision before dying was to give us these artifacts and hope that we may use them for good. And that's all that we have done since.
I kind of lean over towards Beck and I'm saying, like, you see, Brom really got an aptitude for this leadership kind of thing.
Yeah, man. Like you should be take notes, dude.
I know, no, we need to show him into this position.
Oh.
At the 17-year-old you want to put at the front, idiots. The problem just kind of continues. He says, so I understand. What we're saying is, by all rights, crazy. We've fallen into this position, and we only seek your assistance to delay or remove this great evil from this world. I will make any oaths you wish on that.
Like, honestly, like, don't even fucking tell us location 2. Just go get the mill ourselves and meet us in the city. You don't need to tell us shit. Like, we don't need to go to fucking 2.
She straightens up from her chair in one sort of fluid movement and crosses the floor towards you, Beck, with just a handful of long strides, until she's standing right in front of you, holding in her left hand your artifact, your relic, your necklace. And she fixes you again with her, the penetrating gaze that has mostly so far been resorted, restrained to Brom.
Cold eyes.
She has, she's definitely, she's got quite a petite frame. In fact, sitting down, she's only really like an inch or two tall. With you sitting down, she's only really an inch or two taller than you are. So you're mostly looking into each other, eyes straight to eyes.
Okay.
How romantic.
She says, there's an insolence about you. Do you not care that your journey seems at this point to rest upon my goodwill? You don't seem particularly keen to please me.
A shrug. Like, I mean, yeah, we need your help, but like, I don't think me being polite is gonna fucking make a difference. You've been guarding that tomb for what, hundreds of fucking years? Because I say some nice words, that's gonna change what you think. Fuck that. They say what the truth is, and that's it.
She regards you. There's like a sort of like a silence that stretches to 5 seconds and then to 10 seconds. And
What's somebody returns?
she drops the dragon tooth necklace back into your lap and says, "You, at least, have an understanding of the way of things. Companions might have honeyed words, but you see what really matters."
I kind of shrug, like, if she says.
She turns and walks away from you more slowly this time, and as she's turning away, she says, "So, to summarize what story you have woven to me, these artifacts, these relics that you bear, have power. They were gifted to you by some dragon I have never heard of, but that you described to me as ancient and good. And you need me to reveal to you the location of the tomb of the final remembrancer, that you might pillage it for her mirror, and with it, seek out the history of your relics, and empower them further to defeat an undead dragon that I can scarce believe exists. And as she finishes speaking, she sits down back in her chair, and kind of this time, like, pulls one leg up kind of in front of her, you know, sort of sitting a little more comfortably, and says, "Do I have the gist of it?"
Oh yeah, 100%.
I put the amulet back on.
Can I invest
She
it
gives
again?
a subtle kind of shrug and says, "Very well. The tomb has defenses of its own. It will try you in ways that I could not, nor would I even if I had the ability, for it would be a stretch of effort. But I will
Inside
not
check.
reveal it to him." And she fixes her eyes again on Zoms and says, "His kind have sought to pillage and rob the lands of my ancestors for far too long. If you are to go, it will be without your goblin companion. He will remain here or go where he wishes, and you will never reveal to him the location where it was that you traveled and saw this tomb. And you will give me your word on that, or you will not go."
Look, I'm okay with him standing outside of the room, but as Brom says, we're a bit of a cohesion. I wouldn't stand for my good friend here being disrespected like that.
But this is important. I'm fine with that.
Of course you're fine with it. We're the one fucking getting tested once you luck out.
You're welcome not to stand for it, but I'm afraid you'll have to, if you wish to find the tomb for yourselves and retrieve the artifact.
You know you really don't give a shit, Zoms.
Oh, I'll stay behind.
I gonna lean over to Brom and say, weren't there others that might know the location?
Are you giving me like a wink type of am I lying here?
No, like a truth. Like,
Truth, it's like I don't know. And again, grounds for opinion. She's right. This is her knowledge to give us herself. I would not be a grave robber.
I wouldn't want.
So while I may disagree with her insistence on keeping Zoms from this, I understand the history and also the importance of finding this artifact.
Look, it's up to Zoms. If Zoms is sure of it, then who am I to say it's unreasonable? If he thinks it's fun, then it's fun, so we can leave. I don't want to be angry on his behalf, you know. I'm angry enough already.
That's your secret.
That's what you say. You think it worth it, Zoms?
I just nod.
Kind of look at Leon like kind of shrug.
alright, well, that's okay then, I guess.
Then you have our word. We shall never divulge the location to our companion Zoms. Or indeed anyone else.
She turns and faces towards you, Zoms, and says, "Very well. Then it is agreed. From the mouths of your companions as well as yourself. Leave this place, and we shall resume this conversation."
Okay, I leave this place.
As he goes, I give him like a clap on the shoulder.
Yeah, as if short it there. It's not clap on the shoulder, Jacob. It's clap on the shoulder, like down.
Yeah, oh, I'm sitting with you.
Even while sitting.
Once Zoms is truly out of the room, she faces the other three of you, leans forward slightly in her chair and says, "Now, let us continue to drop pretenses and speak honestly with each other. The four of you, and I include that companion of yours out there, are members of the Resistance. Yes, I am. I could not be more certain of this fact if it were tattooed on the sky, but I'll need you to at least acknowledge it before I can proceed with what I have to say next.
Was the word problem solvers not specific enough?
But yes, I kind of
She smiles slightly at that the first time you've seen her crack any kind of grin. She says,
That's okay.
Then, this is the arrangement as I offer it to you. I have here in my estate a guest. She has been here for some time, and as it would happen, she is, I believe, distantly related to the Lyriel whose tomb you seek. She certainly is more aware of its exact location than I ever have been. And what's more, as I understand it, she seeks to join your little outfit for reasons that I personally do not fathom, nor do I judge her for them. I will introduce you to her. She will take you to the tomb of her ancestor. And there you may frankly do as you wish, for as I stated, if you seek to defile the tomb in any sense, it is more than capable of defending itself. And once you have found what you want, you will take her with you. For she is... I have a spot in my heart for her cause. And if it is her true wish to throw herself against the forces of this dominion, as they so call it, then this seems an opportunity for me to afford her that chance.
I will always take new blood. People that are willing to stand. I'm gonna stand up and like try and go for a handshake.
Yeah, you sort of stand up and sort of start stepping towards her for the handshake. She stands up as well, but she doesn't go for the handshake. She turns and heads towards the stairs.
Too slow.
Says, very well. If we are in agreement, then follow me and I shall introduce you.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, she leads you up the stairs, and down a through a door, a single door, down a wooden corridor, carpeted and with closed doors leading, like a couple on either side leading off, but through a door at the far end, and out onto an upstairs balcony behind the house, from which stretches a rope bridge to another smaller abode within the whole enclave of Shadowrunner Lodge. This one's like it leads from the first floor of the upper floor of her house to the ground floor of this one, for everything's kind of like not quite on the level in this valley. And yeah, when she go on. How far's the drop? It crosses the river at one point, and that's the furthest point. The river here is narrow relative to where they are at other points in the world, where these major rivers are sometimes hundreds of feet across as it flows through this valley, but very deep, you'd imagine, given the volume of water, and very swift as well. But yeah, it's like a 100-foot rope bridge, so like it's a pretty decent sized rope bridge. And the point at which it crosses the river, it's probably like a 30 or 40-foot drop to the water, which is the highest point it is above ground at any point. And brings you to this abode on the on the far side, and again slightly higher up the wall of the valley, so you end up at the ground floor. Yeah, this building sort of it's about a half to a third of the size of the one you were just in. It's probably 2 stories tall in itself, and much smaller sort of dimensionally. And yeah, she reaches the door and pauses for a brief moment, then knocks thrice. Yeah, and Tom, you hear a knock at the door.
Yes.
It's
And
another
I
goblin.
Go to the door and open the door.
She says, Lady Moonsong, your great wish has possibly finally been granted. I will leave you in the presence of these visitors to explain themselves fully to you. But know that when they ask you to lead them to the tomb of your ancestor, I believe it is something that is in both of our interests. They have convinced me.
I give a wide smile at this.
So they will explain their story.
Yeah, she sort of turns back towards the 3 of you, all of whom like standing sort of tower over her at least a foot, and she says, "Very well. Make your case to Moonsong here. I shall return, for I am hungry, to my abode. Do not, please, disturb me again unless you have good reason." And she sort of like
Wooden
strides,
dream.
through a gap between the 3 of you and begins crossing the bridge solitarily behind you.
You do convince me I go take a piss. I go find a toilet in this building as well.
There's a bridge that's over a river right there, so yeah.
No, yeah, this time then in society.
Pleasure to meet you.
Well, Beck isn't here. I think we should wait.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and Lady Moonsong isn't here either. If you think about it.
Well,
Lady Moonsong is
As well as can be expected.
Lady Moonsong is in front of you.
yeah.
For I am the Moonsong.
What sparked you this change, Tom?
Been a while. Lots of thinking.
Wait.
Last Thursday,
this is-
I said to
Josh, please.
my character, come on. It is me. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I
Oh,
gave
he's
him a
Logan.
try for a long time, but like I just didn't set him up well enough.
Where here did you ever say that though? How am I supposed to know this shit?
Got no context clues? Tom's suddenly paying attention. Zom's being sent away.
Paying attention. What was making sense?
I just assumed that had something to do with whatever medication he's on.
Well, okay. I thought first I was kind of like paying attention already because I thought that Chris was paying too much attention to like the Shadowrunner description. I thought it was going to be the new NPC to guide us through the tomb. But then, when Zoms was sent away, I knew. Nothing.
Oh, you guys didn't convince Tom.
Nah, I went to take a piss as well. That's all.
And Josh found out that this is actually Tom's new NPC. Oh, new
What's
PC.
wrong about
New character.
Tom?
And I had no fucking idea.
What's wrong about that?
That's a lot of
So much utility. I hope this one's a spellcaster.
I'm excited to find out what the fuck this character is.
Probably a-
Okay, so
You're right.
Tom, you were saying something.
Yes.
We should put it into a goblin voice. That's the only reason.
Yeah, that's the big reason. That's just-
You better do the female voice. That's all I'm saying.
Hello there.
That's too much. That's the
Nice to meet you, man.
Cheers.
No. Song. My pleasure. And I extend my hands to, like, I don't know, whoever's standing the most in front.
What does Lady Moonsong look like?
Yeah.
Yeah, good question.
Do we want to stand in front? Do we want to like flee?
I have a picture. I have a picture someplace. I could send a picture, but
Let me just, at this point, I can
you can, yeah, you can just,
edit and make this in all players' journals rather than just yours.
Hmm.
Let's see.
He's in Asimar
Oh wow.
with long ears.
Sorry.
You can see long ears. Yes.
The pink hair. Or am I colorblind?
No, it's not. It's not
That's like white, right?
more metallically, but yeah. Wearing fine clothes
Pink robes on.
as well. Yeah. Bit like his size was 6'2".
Shorty.
And looks a bit
Only 6'2".
a bit of a
Only being 6'2".
I don't know.
Officially fucking tall boy party, right?
Yeah.
It's the shortest party now.
You? How tall are you?
Yeah, 6'2" as well. So
I'm 180 meters. So I think I'm
180 meters is so huge.
1.80.
You're the smallest then.
You're
right?
not even
Yeah.
6 foot, Jacko. What?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
But I'm stocky, you know. I'm stocky.
He's 180 wide.
Mm.
You're like
Okay,
5'11",
I'll
according to this.
Right.
I'll shake her hand. It's actually still extended from like the previous attempt.
You knew it was happening.
Yeah.
It's never gonna be the other. It's never gonna be
First,
the
and then
I love the idea that you were just like following her with your hand extended all the way across the bridge. All the
Yeah, fuck delayed fireball. This is delayed handshake. Okay.
Have you seen? Is it Fun with Dick and Jane? I think. Have you seen that movie before?
the one.
It's Jim Carrey. He's like some exec, or whatever. It's like a joke about Exxon and the other companies I think went in for insider trading and falsifying documents. There's just a scene where he goes up and he's being, raised, like he's getting a raise to a new position, and he's meeting with like the CEO, and there's this massive, huge conference room he's in, which is just kind of barren, all hardwood floor, and the guy's like, "Hey, it's great to meet you," and the CEO extends his hand, and Jim Carrey's on the other side of the room, like walking forward the whole way across this massive room to go and shake his hand because the other guy's not walking to meet him at all. He's just waiting there, his hand extended.
And then he was promoted and the company's going down. He's like the fall guy,
Exactly.
right?
So he ends up being the fall guy. Yeah.
What was that again?
It's a Fun with Dick and Jane, and I love that movie. It's so good.
Okay.
The best thing about that movie was the poster and the way it was formatted with the text.
Fun with Dick.
Dick and Jane.
Do you remember?
Yeah. I didn't even look at the poster.
Oh,
Definitely
fine,
just
Jane.
like,
Yeah.
definitely just looks like it's saying "Fun Dicking Jane." You're looking real close.
Fun
and you can
Dick
see it's like
Jane,
a
yep.
tiny little ampersand.
Alright.
Alright, back to the game? Yeah. Shake the hand and say, "Hi there, I'm Leon. It's a real pleasure. Lady Moonstone, right?"
We can. No need for the lady parts. Just call me Moonstone.
That's your first name?
That is my name.
It's Beck.
Pleasure to
Is
meet
that a
you.
first? And I turned to you, I'm like, is that a first or last name?
It's a first.
Just a joke.
So,
Good to meet you, Unsong. Extend my hand as well.
Yeah.
And Brom.
Pleasure to meet you too.
well,
Why don't we go back inside of your... well, you were in a room, right? They knocked
Yeah.
and you were like in sleeping quarters or something?
Also, describe, because you've had time here to sort of leave your imprint to choose what level of lighting you want, and it's definitely not as lavishly furnished as the main house was, but you can sort of describe to an extent how you've arranged things and what you've got. The
pentagrams drawn on the
yeah,
wall.
like do you sort of keep it like dark and gloomy like Claire Shadowrunner does, or
It's definitely much brighter than the rest of the. Well, the rest of the stuff. There's
yeah,
really-
it's like as the door opens, like
really
sort of bright torchlight spills out into the.
Yeah. Yes, pretty bright room with like. I don't know if I can. There's definitely someone who's used to a little bit higher standards of living, not like
Oh no.
with the
Got a posh fuck.
Gonna hate traveling with us then.
perhaps a little bit, but not fully with like the best fucking cover and anything. It's like it's just a little bit of the aesthetic, not perhaps the full on. Yeah.
Alright. And we...
The room. This has been sprung on me.
we are allowed in?
Yeah, Well, I say it's probably not that big of a room though. So yeah, come in. It's probably fine. It's not that much room, but it'll be big enough. Should be good enough.
Yeah, luckily, or hopefully, we won't take too long. But yeah, it's about time to drop the pretense. I'm very tired of having to finesse my words. I'm really not good at it.
Okay.
Did you ever expect someone to call our words honeyed? That's a first for me personally.
Maybe. I'm surprised.
Right. It's weird.
I don't
Anyways,
normally
yeah.
equate people with an orcish tongue and honey in the same sentence.
There are definitely exceptions.
Apparently, his mother is a great figure with the resistance. And by the way, we are with the resistance. It feels great saying that out in the open.
I figured as much from.
The walls come down.
It's like fucking Mission Impossible. Like it's all been like like a fake room. Okay.
And then it turns out that Moonsong is just a hologram. No.
I think it's much from how she kind of left us here because it's been I've been looking to join with the resistance recently.
Well, I mean, I give the same talk any time, but you should know what you're gonna be in for. Yeah, it's a hard life, dangerous.
I've lived in Greenheart for most of the. I was in the city of Atlas when the invasion stuff happened. I've seen the worst of it.
Hmm.
I gotta say, I didn't actually look closely enough at Tom's new character picture. I really thought she was just like completely ripped, had like abs on show.
Those were abs.
I thought those were abs. Well, like from a distance,
Well,
it looks more
corset.
picture. It looks like an absurd
Mm.
cluster of abs. Now looking closer, I'm like, it's like a corset thing. Oh, God.
You can multi-class.
Like, oh, it looks like you know something we need, and I guess if you're in the resistance, then it makes sense that you want to help us.
Well, I mean, I don't want to get too hasty, but is it just because you were in Atlas when everything went down? Is that why you want to join, or is there another motive for you wanting to join the resistance?
Yeah,
It has been
I
quite
got
some
out.
time since the fall.
It has been. I fought with the elves. My parents were elvish, and Asimar born to an elven family. I helped defend with my parents, who both
Part of Brahma's blade exploded when you said Asimar.
But yeah, how rare are ASMR, by the way? Sorry. How rare are ASMR in this
Pretty
room?
fucking rare in today's
Yeah.
Do I have to like roll something to know what I?
It's like I'm one of these creatures. Like,
it's up to any of you to decide whether or not you've heard of them. I'm not
Well,
gonna
again,
roll or
it'd be like
anything.
we're meeting a new person. Like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm an angel. You're like,
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Jack, your overlay's wrong on stream. His name isn't Zoms anymore. Could you fix it?
Ah, yes. Okay, what else the name?
well done.
Moonsa. Oh yeah, obviously.
Moon Song.
When I
Wonderly.
was deciding on the name, man, the first.
Yeah, part of me wanted to throw Jack a bone and give him like a bit of a heads up before the session, but I was like, nah,
No,
I'll just,
no,
like,
no.
I'll just
Well,
make a joke of it during
I'll
the
be
session.
honest, like, I didn't catch any of the contextual clues as you missed out on the discussion. I was like, wait, because they were like, well, let's continue the discussion because, you know, Tom started to talk, and I was like, well, no, like, Lady Moonsong isn't here either because you had stepped to walk away. I assumed it had been an NPC. And I was like, oh, thank God it didn't make a huge stink because I was, like, really about to go to bat for Zoms and, like, hold the line and shit. I was like,
Mm.
but he caved so quickly, I was like, I don't understand what's happening.
Probably something up here, like.
Yeah.
I'm like,
To find a way to
Yeah, when
kill
when the
Zoms
when the DM is
without-
telling you to split the party, something's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Just Chris trying to kill us, you know?
I feel like you mentioned fighting.
Yeah.
But like, I guess it's good you've at least fought the Dawn before.
It was not. I have not done much since the whole occupation thing. For
What are you, some sort of magic user?
Yes.
You don't look like a fighter. Yeah. Kind of not. I kind of struggle. Might be useful to have you along for a bit then, while we're exploring the tomb.
Yeah, we're not our full crew. Someone was a goblin wasn't allowed on this one.
Yeah, but he's normally the go-to one when even there's some stuff about magic, so good to know we won't be completely out of our depth.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, so you probably know a little bit about the deal, but we're here because of an ancestor of yours. One Lyriel, a diviner, or Rembrandster. I'll look at Bromwich. One that could look into the past with a mirror. We need that artifact.
You just add extra ERs.
Remembrandster.
Remember.
Remember Lorenzo.
It's like a German word at this point.
Yeah.
And that is in his tomb?
Yeah,
Apparently.
what we've been told at least.
By a lady, Wormscold. Do you know her from Greenheart?
Sorry, my doorbell.
I do know her.
She's the one who told us to come here, that we need to find the tomb, and that we might be able to get the information here.
Then.
So you know where it is.
Could have not worked out better then.
Do you know where it is?
I do.
Would you take us there?
And if you then take me with you on your further travels.
Sure, we can again. She had mentioned that you wanted to basically join the resistance, so we can take you to the person. You know, after this, we can take you to the person that we answer to get you officially instated.
Yeah, consider this your testing grounds.
Perfect. Cannot have wished for more.
Oh, and the whole... You are a member of nobility? As a...
Not. But,
I mean, these days it's a bit iffy either way, but...
It's a bit. It's not fully nobles, but me and my father used to. We were both emissaries for the court, and so always in contact with them.
Oh, great. Oh. So you know etiquette then. That's really something that we're lacking in this particular group.
Chris, out of curiosity, how illegal is an ASMR existing at this point still?
And not in and of it. Like, so...
More or less illegal than a goblin.
That's the question more broadly. Like, freedom, apart from the original trio of gods, and I guess technically four if we assume that that the dwarven god is no longer really particularly welcome given the political hostilities between the two nations. Apart from them, where all of their disciples and all of those who sort of shared in the bloodline of the houses that originally represented them were sort of hunted down and purged, freedom of religion still exists within the Dominion. People are still free to worship good gods insofar as those gods, and even chaotic gods, insofar as, but like it's very much like as long as you don't fucking cause trouble, okay? Like it's,
Right.
it's like if you're worshiping a god and a god is like, well, you can't, they've got a big problem with the Dominion, they're like, well, fucking tough, you don't have a choice, you got to give up your god because otherwise we're gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
So similarly, the existence of angelic beings like Aasimar are tolerated, but it's more that being an Aasimars in general find the restrictions of life and find just being like generally involved with living in the Dominion much harder. So far more of them like fought to the death during the initial war, and that's for that reason there's fewer of them about today.
Never.
Is it safe to assume that there'll be extra scrutiny on them? Like if there's one in town, the Dawn would probably be like keeping an eye on them type thing, or is it more of like a C'est la vie?
It's more like a c'est la vie until they sort of prove otherwise, right? Like we're 10 years on at this point. Like if the Dawn see an Aasimar, they're just kind of assuming that they've sort of like come to terms with the fact that they have to be their bitch, and like So it's not like they I mean that's kind of it. They don't really like scrutinize them specifically, but it's more that Asimar in general like are known to have a problem with Dawn. So
And
that's
how
that's their fucking problem, you know. They either gotta get over it or die.
and how obvious is it that Moonsong is an SMR? Like how shiny is his skin, for example?
Yeah, Tom.
White. I mean, white.
Fine.
Yeah, Moonsong moves with, I think, Tom will attest to this as well, like, as she moves around with a kind of, like, almost unnatural lightness. You know, like the sort of helium balloons about to sort of like, float her off or something, you know, like
Lord of the Rings house.
yeah, as Lord of the Rings are described in the, you know, more so than they're like interpreted in the films, but yeah, like there's a sort of just general slightly unearthly nature to Moonsong's physicality as well as her appearance.
But like as far as just physical, you can see, you know, the golden eyes, the hair, the skin. Not the most ASMR possible. But
On a scale like an 8 out of 10.
not the least either, yeah.
Well,
I hope you have a traveling cloak.
I do. I've done a lot of traveling over the years.
kind of, well,
Has been one of my passions, and which I couldn't particularly.
it's already quite late, but I reckon the owner isn't going to want us to stay here any longer than we already have, so maybe we need a camp outside tonight. Also, we need to talk to our companion and let him know what's happening and when we should meet up again.
Of course.
Are you ready to leave?
Pack my stuff.
How far away is this tomb?
Chris?
No, you don't actually know where the tomb is. Shit.
It's no, it's in the mountains that are just adjacent to the hex you're currently in, and you know enough to find it without having to like reconnoiter the hex. It's in a sort of little valley hidden way, sort of between two peaks. There's a bit of a sort of climb involved getting up there. Sort of have to be about halfway up the sort of the tallest height of the mountains.
Non-horse-going areas.
Not great for horses, yeah.
Why don't you go pack your things? We'll meet up with our friend, and we'll meet at the front of the estate.
Sure.
Great. Well, again, happy to have you on board.
To be coming with you.
Okay, so the three of you head on back across the bridge, and instead of going through, you now head around and down. Yeah, go on.
As soon as we're like out of like ish, I'm like, I'm like, what the fuck is she? What's up with her skin?
Well, you can't just ask that kind of question back. You're like, Jesus.
That's basically what Beck is as a person, though, is asking questions you shouldn't ask.
It's true. No, that's
There's no bad intent behind it.
Well, I mean, Brom, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're like humans with a little bit of angel mixed in their blood.
What, like, their mum fucked an angel?
Yeah,
Well,
maybe.
it could be that. Again, from what she said, it sounds more like both of her parents were elves. So it's more of a gift from the gods type of situation. Not sure.
Maybe a while back, I don't really.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Yeah, maybe it's a recessive gene and it just shows up randomly. Like
or
the-
maybe
Those alleles, you know, like.
maybe the first couple of days we don't ask anything about the the whole race issue thing, and then once we get to know her a bit better, we can maybe get to know a little bit more.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's just
But if we thought we got like weird looks with having Zoms around, she'll probably draw a few more eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to
For
force
one,
her
she's
to.
much taller. She will stand out in the crowd.
speaking of zombies, where that fucking go off to?
I love the idea that he's just like taking the horses and booked it. He's just like, oh, you think I'm a thief, huh? Fuck up, bitches! Just like,
Finally, a chance to go back to my clan.
Back across the bridge and make your way around the to the front of the building, and yeah, Zoms is like at the bottom of the wooden flight of stairs by the base of the path where the statues are, where you left your horses, just kind of kicking like a pebble around.
Pretty much.
Oh wait, so is Chris now gonna do Zoms, or is Tom gonna do Zoms?
Yeah, I'm doing Zoms. Tom can't be two characters. So yeah.
It's OP.
Hey guys.
I love it so much.
Zom, you sound like you have a stuffy nose. You okay?
What? This is how we always talk.
That's how I always learn it anyway. So that's how I always
Sure.
We've
What's going on?
roughly where we're gonna go. But,
You've been replaced. As you know.
we think we'll be obviously, like I said, I think we'll have to do without you for now, but we can meet back up just and sign off, I guess. Hopefully it shouldn't take more than a couple of days if you stayed in it.
Tom's kind of
Interrupt.
shrugs and says, "Well, if you think it's gonna be days, I mean, you know,
Maybe
I
two.
figured I might head back to Greenheart and give Blackbird a hand with their whole research situation, you know."
It's a dangerous road, man. Like, it wasn't on the way down, but we've been fucked up before.
You haven't bumped into anyone in this forest, and I'm damn sure I'm not going to on the way back. Plus, I've always got more tricks than you guys ever gave me credit for.
What are you talking about? Zombs, I gave you tons of credit.
That is fair.
Could have used them sometimes, Oms.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Tom's Waluigi style.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyway, sounds like you guys are going somewhere more dangerous than I am, so I figured you could probably use this. And he like gets the horn out and holds it out towards the group of you.
He remembered that this isn't Tom.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's
You'll
oof.
probably
Yeah.
need it more where you're going than I will.
No.
I'll meet back up with Blackbird and see you guys when you get back to Greenheart, yeah?
Alright.
I mean, Brom definitely like has a bit of like sadness, right? Like kind of like
Mhm.
separating from a companion, particularly because some racist bitch, right? Like
Yeah.
he really feels bad. He's like, I'm sorry, Soms. I wish you could come with us.
I don't take it personally.
I'll
I've always
also
been treated like this to some degree.
I'll like crouch down.
Person, you could just come with, you know.
We gave our word. We're not gonna do that.
Shrug. It's like, it's just a word.
That's all we got.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but if she found out, she'd probably kick up a big stink.
Yeah.
She almost shot me once, so, you know,
True.
maybe I should just get out of here before I die.
He's starting to turn a bit gangster. I like it.
Walk in here, you know?
Like do like the bigger shake.
Hmm.
It's like pick Zoms up. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
you know?
Safe travels, Zoms.
I'm gonna miss you, but let's meet again soon.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I love you guys in a way.
Until he's eaten by a Groot day
Oh.
1 of travel.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, I know. Just
Yeah,
catch up back in Greenheart.
All right.
you'll be fine.
You better found up a lot of important knowledge about
Yeah,
Oh.
Figure out where we're gonna go and empower these artifacts or whatever it is we got.
Yeah.
Kind of like looks at his ring on his finger and says, "I'll figure it all out. Don't you worry."
Mm.
Sure. Alright then. Just, you know, watch
All right then.
the horse.
Mounts up back on his little pony. Kind of gives you guys
Good
a
old
glance
Bill.
back over his shoulder, winks,
him a wave.
and yeah, kicks off and starts cantering off down the road.
I go back and I talk to Moonsong. Is there a particular item that seems to stand out as artifact-ish on her?
She's got a ring that looks so similar to the
So yeah, casting your eyes back to when you met Moonsong for the first time.
Yeah.
Moonsong has, I guess wouldn't necessarily wear it all the time, but like hanging near the door was a cloak that you would certainly recognize the cloak of Elvenkind, and was wearing boots of Elvenkind. Like a few other things around,
Winners.
relatively fancy. I mean, you guys have seen bracelets of dashing, so you guys would recognize bracelets of
Classic.
dashing at this point.
Mhm. This is an adventurer right here.
And yeah, a bag that I think looked. I mean, all bags of holding are woven slightly differently, but looked not dissimilar to the bag of holding that you guys have. You have spotted these about her, but nothing that stood out as
Crazy.
yeah, dramatically like that's a dragon artifact. That's a dragon gave her, or something.
Right.
Must be in the bag of holding, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, I guess we don't wait for what's in the shop. Kind of look at it like, well, didn't expect to lose the first one of us full like that, but.
Well, I mean, it's only temporary. I hope.
Lucky.
Jack are committed to the roleplay.
Well, I mean, come on!
No, I mean, no, I'm not in a, like snarky way. Like, I appreciate it. Jack are actually committed.
Right.
To it. Like,
Braum would be as well. Like he's definitely intended to like. We take her to the resistance and we send her on her way and we go.
We still have lost him.
I know.
Yeah, so for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll meet up back often, but it'll be weird being together. I mean, since before even I met you fuckers.
Yeah, I mean, it's especially strange for you, I feel. It's just, looking back and looking down a little bit, I expect a short little goblin to be there, but I guess he won't have our back for a little bit at least.
I'm gonna miss those potions of darkness.
And that Grafton, oh baby, when it worked. It really worked.
Oh wait,
this is gonna sound slightly sexist.
I gotta do this fair. I think Tom did specifically say to me that he would give you guys the four potions of dark vision. Yeah. Tom did specifically say that to me, so those get handed over with the. It's almost like, oh, I forgot these. Here, have.
Goodbye, son.
Yeah.
But that gets handed over with the horn.
Who took the horn, by the way?
Probably need these.
We do it 4 dark vision licks. Alright, I'll take another 2.
Yeah.
I already have 2 little actions, but.
You make the batches of 4, so.
Okay.
And I made the batch.
I mean, I can take them. I don't want to take them all.
Where's the
You
least?
guys take 2 each, because we'll do.
Yeah.
Asmar have.
If Asimar don't, elves do. So.
Yeah, I think Asmar like changed the elf heritage, right? So if elves by default have dark vision, they'll also have dark vision.
No,
Yeah,
elves
exactly.
They have low light.
Oh.
Asimars get low light vision unless she already
So yeah,
had.
so it stacks and you get the dark vision.
I mean, he doesn't.
So I'll take two.
We could use them before fights, I feel like they're playing that.
Right.
Dark
But again,
vision.
who's taking the horn?
Elixir. Okay, so who has the least magic items right now?
It doesn't matter. Like, I'm
Yeah.
never gonna use a horn. I would have to.
I don't think it's for you.
One hand and re-grip.
You're taking Gunner Bromlock. Or I guess we could also.
It's 100% bomb up because the bow can be wielded in one hand and a fucking.
Yeah.
Right, or held in one hand, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
exactly.
it's way better.
Sure.
For you.
Yeah.
Leon has
Okay.
like 1,000 actions to use with like creating shields and shit.
I want to trust
called
Moonsong, maybe.
Horn of blasting.
Is it in the inventory? Yes. Sweet.
Okay. Alright. Yeah. Let's just wait for Moons on the show. Does she have a horse? The real question.
So yeah, Moonsong, you suit up, and make your way around the front and meet up with the people you just met, the rather strange trio.
Hey, no. It's true, but come on.
Does she have a horse?
Not at the moment.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it's like, I guess we're already, I would guess, kind of like already, like saddled up on kind of, like lazy.
Yeah, ready to leave.
Like, when she comes walking, I'm kind of like, cool down, like, you got a horse?
In a way.
Wait.
Okay.
Leaving immediately?
Coda.
I said, are we leaving immediately?
Yeah, what is?
Yeah, we figured we got a little trouble. Yeah.
I cast Phantom Steed and summon a horse.
What? Okay, what does you casting look like?
It's a 10-minute cast time.
And I like watch, I'm like, you fucking shit it.
She's like drawing it like an infernal circle. What's happening here?
Just notice drawing a horse on the ground. You gotta just like draw the
And it just pops out of me, like exactly like that, like a shitty.
yeah, just like there's like erects out of the ground.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Expensive,
10 minutes.
Wait for 10 minutes. Just kind of watching, kind of bemused. It's like, so you're magicking up a horse.
It's not like spectral in its look, but it's definitely like it's got a sort of a sparkle to its mane and visage, and like its mane and tail kind of like flow away into kind of like they start sort of like hair, and by the time they reach the tips, they're kind of flowing away like a sort of mist. There's definitely like a sort of a magical air about this.
I'll lead Bob over to the horse, and I'll be like, hey there, Bob. Here's a new buddy for you. Gonna see how he reacts to the ghost horse or like the phantom horse.
Bob like I don't know, like sniffs its ass or something.
There's no sword. What's happening?
Then the phantom steed is a phantom poo.
Nice.
Oh, God.
So horse-like. Wow. So real.
Alright. I guess.
Already?
Lead the way, bro. Kind of give the horse like a weird look.
Yeah. And I may have missed it. Which hex is it?
I think we're not actually moving, so we're just like.
Yeah, you guys are
Oh.
getting
Yeah, but
getting
it-
a bit of distance.
But we're not actually
Right,
moving.
so that we're not next to murder hobo lady.
Exactly. But the
Yeah, she changes her mind and kills you in your sleep.
Yeah, that's that
Exactly.
one.
Yeah.
Going in
Exactly.
that
It's just the
direction.
adjacent mountain peak. So yeah, you guys just head like fix the mountain peaks against the sort of the starlit sky in your vision and move off in that direction for an hour or so.
And like as we're like traveling a few minutes in, I'll walk next to Moonsong. I'll be like, "Hey there, if you don't mind me asking, about the name. We heard you were a descendant of this old half-elf Lyriel. Is Moonsong, is that a chosen name, or what's really happening there? I don't understand."
Well, as is in custom with the elves, I'm assuming you weren't particularly spent much
Hmm.
time with the elves.
Mm-mm. Negative.
Yes, for us, we believe we don't share our real names with more than our close family.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
So we
Well,
don't
yeah,
Also
and-
like a true name and like a public name.
That goes for every elf.
Yes.
Huh.
At least I
So-
believe so. There might be some somewhere where
Any
more-
elf I've ever met hasn't shared their true name.
It's full on Death Watch from Mandalorian.
Oh, I haven't seen season 2 yet.
Just arrows from fucking Aragon, like it's just-
Yeah.
It's really great. Like I just copy every time I put L's in a world, I just copy everything Christopher Paolini ever wrote, and Pathfinder world just helps me out in certain respects. You know?
God. Stronger, faster, better looking, live
exactly.
longer. Just better than everyone.
Yeah, after like a few moments of my mind being blown, I'll be like, alright, Moonsong it is. And, yeah.
Yeah, we go
You're
a
my
little
close
ways away
friends now,
to
so
make
I'll
camp. Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
Beck will
just
show
for-
his
just
tragic
for-
backstory.
Just for your because you would obviously, Tom, you're aware of your relation to Lorraine. You know, she's not so much she's not really a direct ancestor of yours, more like a relation of a generation older than you, like an aunt or great aunt, like once removed or something
Mhm.
further. Like she's of the same bloodline, but there was, as far as you're aware, like she did not share the angelic the Asimar bloodline that you do.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to explain that to them or just like let them assume whatever, but that's just so you know what you know. That's what you know.
Yeah, I say that she was like once removed, or however that's called in English.
Yeah, like a cousin. Yeah, exactly. Once removed, like a cousin of an aunt or something. Like
It doesn't really matter if they're
Yeah.
that long gone,
Because a
anyways.
cousin of an aunt is also
A
a
while.
cousin of your mother. When I think about
Yeah.
it, but like whatever, but like something like that.
How can I get a sense of like how old she is, like Moonsong? Or that's obviously hard because of the old elf SMR thing.
And the details.
Yeah.
Yeah, young for an elf is the
Okay.
sense you get.
But that's probably still older than me.
Yeah, like not like young, like barely mature for an elf, but like you would. I mean, I don't know. You've met like some elves over time. You'd you've got a sort of like a general sense for their physicality. You'd be surprised if she was past her first century.
Okay, sure. I'm gonna guess
But beyond that, it's hard. Again, like elves are very young.
82.
In this respect, they kind of
Right.
like they. Oh yeah, I guess I'll say this to everyone because I said it to Tom at some point. Like as a slight, I guess I don't know, campaign errata or something. Like in by the description of elves in the Pathfinder in the core rules, elves live to be about 600. In my world, they live a bit longer than that. They can like an old elf will live to be about 1,000 in this world.
Hmm.
So like 600 is not really. It's like kind of late middle age for an elf.
But at that point, you should have like harnessed magic already to make you immortal. That's your own fault if you
If
die.
you made it 600 years and you didn't fucking become mortal, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, like elves kind of like they age a bit until about 100, and then it's kind of like a very slow aging process up until like they're sort of like 600 or 700, and then they sort of really like start to look old, and then they So you're kind of pretty sure that just by your estimation, Moonsong is less than 100, or probably at least less than 150. Yeah.
82 it is.
52, exactly, precisely. How did you know?
See, I was gonna go 69 because nice.
Closer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys move on. Leon, being the charismatic one, makes small talk with Moonsong, kind of gets to know her a bit.
I try.
Just sort of put like a polite amount of distance between yourselves and the Shadowrunner lodge.
Yeah.
Before you sort of find a spot to bed down for the evening and make camp.
Oh god, I haven't even thought of the fact we lost our chef.
Yeah, I mean, also,
You check these knowledge skills. It doesn't look like there's any cookery on this character sheet.
But Chris, you know,
He magically makes.
my attention to this thing. You know,
This one.
I have
But-
this thing.
Well, no, fair. You got improvisation. Yeah, you wanna. I don't know. Do as you please, but
I don't know if I can eat other food tonight. It didn't remind me of zombies.
Yeah, I just wouldn't feel right.
Go to bed hungry in solidarity with our lost companion. Feel free to adjust the. Let me fill in.
Oh yeah, also the resting dog. And...
Let me fill in Moonsong on the bit of Doms for Watch 2.
Yeah.
And your perception. Oh, Doms had such bad perception.
I just don't think he ever got updated.
Oh yeah, it just wasn't updated. Yeah.
I actually just went in and updated because I don't think I updated it for my most recent level either
You silly people.
this morning.
It's honestly. It's
Is
really
yours
just-
100% up to date? I
It's
kind
not
of
like completely
Yeah,
like essential. You guys keep this up to date. It's more like if I want to GR or something and like I can tell at a glance to look.
Right.
Yeah, might not be up to date, but it's close enough. Wait, I've updated more recently. Chris, this is an old version of Doc.
No, it's
There's
literally
nothing as an
not.
old version of
You
this
changed
doc.
it.
Like,
You changed it.
I've done nothing of the sort.
Right. Can I borrow the glasses, Leon?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think it was already established you wear them on your watch. Like you both wear them on your watch. Anyway, I suppose there's no reason anybody wouldn't like be able to wear them. I guess you don't want to share them Moonsong or whatever. Like I assume you'd offer them
She's
to
gonna steal our glasses.
Bromok during your watch. Like
Let's treat her like the other lady treated Zoms.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like it.
Criminal and comes with an ancestry that's terrible and can't be trusted.
Alright, let me do my perception for the.
Ah,
for the
perfect.
round. Oh, it's +2 higher than that actually, Chris.
oh shit. Yeah. Okay. You
Oh right, we're stealthy.
You look around the area pretty proficiently, one might say, as Bromok successfully hides the
Right,
encampment.
today. Oh baby, there it is.
Just have fun to the entertain thing for tonight.
Entertain. Oh, I mean, you gotta.
That's a +2 modifier. How do you have to roll?
Yeah, you do have to roll with performance.
Fine. Conjure an instrument.
So what are you doing? So I'm like out perceiving, and you're somehow performing in camp, which give me a bonus. You gotta describe how you.
So are you a bard?
I start with the thing. I do this.
I know
thing.
what Tom is.
Summon
I know what Tom. Well,
thingy.
You are a bard? Oh my god, that's cool.
I mean, it's a bit of a tune before you go away. You're like, listen, you get like the jig in your step as you wander away from the from the camp.
Wait,
Your performance as well. Come on. So
wait, so
Oh yeah, that gets it. So everyone has Bex is really +2, then +2 more, so it's gonna be 38.
Everything. Hey, what are you doing there, Claire Shadowrunner? Get out of there.
I just thought I'd watch you undress. Just rolls back to the tower.
Bring it.
Yeah, so everyone gets a +2 on their roll. So the stealth is even stealthier, but that does succeed. The religion that still does not succeed. The perception succeeds even harder. Yeah, so you are looking around the area where you've encamped. You really just were kind of following the line of the river as it leads off towards where these sort of mountain peaks spring out from next to it. So as you're perceiving, yeah, you sort of go looking around. And again, like I said, the river at this point where it flows through Deepwood, specifically through this kind of like river valley formed by these mountains, is narrower, but deeper and faster flowing than it has been in other areas of the world. Like, if you remember where you met Blackbird for the first time, and there were like
New Dawn and stuff looking around, that was like a relatively like kind of gentle like flow in the current, but the river was like 200 or 300 feet across or something like that. It was like really wide. These great rivers really are. Here it's like probably not more than 100 feet, probably like 70 feet to the other side, but like the darkness of the water, you know, sort of hints at its like extreme depth as it cuts its way through this valley. And it's flowing really quite rapidly to obviously, you know, you make sure that the same amount of fluid is flowing, otherwise you've broken some fundamental laws of physics here. And yeah, as you're looking around, you spot a yeah, your perception's really good, but I don't know if it would be immediately obvious. So you spot a group of figures on the opposite bank as you're looking around. You don't even like have to leave the tree line and be like standing on the riverbank to see them. You're sort of like a little. You think you're probably hidden from them. They don't seem to like have noticed you.
I am stealthy.
And it's yeah. Again, in the dark, it's hard to make out exactly what they're doing, but it's also the low light rather. But it's like they're possibly like washing some clothes or like fishing with nets or something, or like some of them seem to be sort of standing around keeping guard or just standing around lazily. And the others seem to, and like, there's probably about 10 of them total, and like 3 or 4 of them are sort of like crouched down by the water's edge, facing towards it, doing something. And they're small sized. To your eyes, they could be gnomes or halflings. They don't really look like goblins. They don't kind of have that like sort of like stoutness and weedy shape or anything. Or possibly some sort of like fey folk of the woods or something you're not really familiar about, but they're definitely like small of stature and more humanoid than goblins kind of are. Goblins kind of have like weirdly like large heads and strange proportions. So just, obviously I'm only specifically saying goblins because like goblins are a species that you're familiar with. But, like,
what is it, children?
They're the children are certainly like a possibility.
But they're kind of like whatever they're doing it like, for me it looks like basically in the dark, like they don't have any lights themselves or anything.
Yeah, they do not have any lights themselves, and the sun is sort of like long set by this point, so it's really the sort of like the low light of the stars and moon that you're sort of observing them across the flat reflective water by.
I'll like kind of get a bit closer, see if I can get a better look if I can.
Okay, do you want to like try and remain unseen, or you just like stride out to the riverbank and kind of peer across it?
I'll try to remain unseen.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Like I'm not striding out. Like I don't know if I'm gonna be good at remaining unseen, but I think at least attempt to slightly. Ooh.
Okay, yeah. You like sort of crawl forwards, like commando crawl, like on your belly towards the riverbank a bit to sort of like try and get a better, view on exactly what's going on. As you get to the edge, you catch like the faint glimmer of. God, you have no ability to recognize the difference between nature and occult and arcane and religious, like schools of magic. Like it's all gobbledygook to you. But you like catch the faint sparkles of some sort of magical energy about the activities of those crouched near the water's edge.
Okay.
And as you sort of draw closer and watch them, you're watching them only from right up against the water for a few like 10 or 15 seconds, like keeping an eye. When like I said, your perception's really good. You got these nice goggles on and stuff. It's giving you feel or sense that one of them has like spotted you or detected you or something. For there's like a brief flurry of a well, give me a society check. I know it's not great for you, but I just like to potentially recognize what sort of language they're speaking. Yeah, okay, so you have very little idea like what language at all that's being talked. It sounds like a little sort of sing-song to you, but God knows. Like,
everything sing-song.
Yeah, exactly. And then like they all vanish very quickly. A couple of them like disappear back into the trees behind them. A couple of them seem to sort of like puff away into dust and like sort of or mist or something. And some of them just like outright just like vanish, like turning invisible.
Right.
And like within like a couple of seconds, like they're all just completely gone.
I kind of just shrug to myself, like, stand up. I kind of give like a wave in that direction as I kind of just head back to, in the direction I came. Kind of just thinking about it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll just head back to camp. And I won't mention this.
Okay, cool. The camp is, as described, is well hidden, but not very religious. You guys pass the evening.
And a squinted Mouton be like, you should see in the dark.
Let you guys roleplay just before bed while I go and take another.
Yes, I can.
You're right, taking a second watch it went up.
It's my favorite time of the day.
Alright.
Does Moonsong have like a fancy tent or something?
I just have like a pop tent, just like a
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
yeah.
Pretty fancy in and of itself,
It
yeah.
has a tent, insanity. You don't have a tent, right?
Oh no.
Okay, good. Do you even have a bedroom?
I do have a bedroom.
Yeah, you play have a bedroom. You have that adventurous pack. Right, yeah. Then I guess
No, I don't think it's on my character sheet.
you don't have an adventurous pack. Insane. What are you gonna do if you need to have these? It's soap. See, I have soap and you don't. So clearly, actually.
Adventure.
Yeah.
It's on my sheet.
Yeah,
What
I
are you
have a
talking
pub
about?
tent and a bedroll as well.
Yeah.
Pub tent, it's like it's for me.
But I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Women have tents.
No, women hygiene. Yeah. Yeah, but like as you're playing the instrument, I guess I'll bring that up. I'll be like, so the instrument like magically appears, and then after you're done playing, it just like disappears again.
And just I play it like I don't know. I play it for an hour, then like
Wow.
Those gins, they just go straight fucking through me.
You a musician?
Speaking of which, I'm gonna go now.
Really, but
A minstrel.
I dabble in it. I've done many things. Music is a little bit of my passion as well.
Just in case, I mean, we have a tendency to run into trouble, and it sounds like there will be some tests at this tomb. What should we depend on you for in a combat scenario?
If you're here just as a guide, no pressure.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I can. You don't have to worry too much about me. I can take care of myself. Can give you a bit. If you need it, I can heal you. It's within my powers.
Yeah, Leon's really good at that as well, but I often do need a lot of healing, to be fair. So.
Pretty good.
That's true.
Oh, that should be good then.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
That is such.
Beck is really good at blocking attacks with his face.
Yeah, they do like to attack me. They do like to attack me.
Thus the scars.
Then you will have to need
Well,
some.
they're most of them pretty old,
Seem very.
I had a pretty
Very
hard face.
very well.
Probably pretty gnarly now. Like it's already pretty bad.
You've said that you, in the invasion that you fought, so I'm assuming you're familiar with, the tendencies of combat, bloodshed, killing,
I am.
unfortunate side effects of struggle.
It's unfortunate times we live in, but
Alright.
just strive to make it better, shouldn't we? It's okay. I'll smile.
Right.
So do you like to, in the fight, do you fight up close or are you at a range?
I stay a little bit out of. I am not too good with a sword or something like that. I'm not good in a very close-up confrontation.
Like
Gotcha.
never left.
But that is,
It's
no.
You sleep?
As I always try to say, just keep on smiling.
Alright. Do you sleep?
Do sleep.
Alright. Sure.
Well, have a nice rest then, and let's hope tomorrow will be as fortunate as today was.
Let's hope that indeed.
Maybe
I'm
it's
sure
all
it will be.
charm. Quite a few days recently. See if it ends.
Okay, we go to bed.
Give Zoms was the good luck charm we needed to get through our lives unscathed. Interesting.
Let's find out how the night goes.
Oh, but we're all coming from.
But it was Zoms, you can see it's getting scary around. So I enjoy while watching. Do we see these creatures go by or like?
No.
Oh, then we could choose to fight them and ambush them.
Behind a little That'd be But then we could choose to take it, and Chris is like, nah, none of that. There's no
Yeah,
fun.
exactly.
None of
Nothing binds you.
that.
Night passes without event.
Yeah, I agree. Cool.
Damn you,
Okay,
Broma can
morning.
be good at stuff.
Is Leo still up for a little bit of warming up in the morning?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. Good thing.
Horny.
Yeah. So,
Be like, I think Blackbird said like this, and do try and like emulate her tips.
I feel like doing the fighting. I don't know how it works in like you know, game. What's the opposite of in-game terms? Like in
Out of game?
Meta
No.
Yeah.
I mean in game. Wait.
Mechanics.
in worlds.
No, I mean
Mechanically?
is in-game terms the opposite of mechanics? But I'm for one. Oh, maybe.
Like,
No, in-game terms are the mechanics.
RP?
Can I sense a difference in how he fights, or how the weapon feels going through the air, or is it like if I got hit by magically, it would feel scarier?
Oh, in the world, you mean? Okay.
In role terms, I guess, of how it feels to fight Leon now.
No, it doesn't seem any more accurate, and obviously you guys aren't hitting hard enough to like actually like you're keeping your weapons like I'm gonna say we're not actually damaging each other even non-lethally. So
It doesn't look like it's moving.
no,
Okay, cool.
no,
Okay.
get no sense of anything like that.
How can I ask him, like, how's it feel to swing? Do you feel a difference in stuff? Put magic in it?
Oh, well, I don't know about that, but it's certainly making me feel more confident. There seems to be an air of surety behind it with every swing.
And I mean, correct us if we're wrong, but that's a greater striking or not, right?
Yeah, I'm just not really sure what that means.
Should pack a punch.
Well, I guess I'll find out.
Be good to see. Hopefully, well, hopefully, but if it's too madly dangerous for us, hopefully we'll be a match for it. Speaking of which, you better.
Oh wait, Moonsong, how are you with ruins or magic ruins and the attaching of those
Really
things?
looking for someone who can fucking transfer runes from one thing to another. It keeps coming up.
That's true.
I mean,
Is this one of those things you dabble in, perhaps?
I've done some dabbling with this kind of stuff as well, but not into magical runes too much. I could definitely give it a try.
Alright, well,
I've
perhaps
crafted a couple of weapons in my time.
once we've retrieved, the artifact, and we have maybe some time in town. Alright.
Sure, of course. Glad to help.
Alright. So we get through the night. Next morning, where are we going? Just basically the equivalent of a reconnoiter?
Northeast. No, we don't even have to, because Tom knows where it is.
Oh.
Yep. No reconnoiter needs.
Yeah,
Say.
knows where it is, but you do have to.
Oh, the horses, you have to put them down.
Put them down? Jesus!
You got it.
It doesn't actually make a difference having the horses. Like it's still, like you probably want to keep them actually because then you get through 3 travel actions and only going to take you 2 days rather than 3. So
We like it would like the mountain powerful to show.
yeah, but yeah, it is 3 travel activities to enter
Maybe it takes us 2 days.
the hex. So yeah, it's a long and
Arduous trip.
exactly. You remain in this hex for today, but you are like heading up into into mountains through the day. God, we'll have that macro ready.
Yeah, we're full Lancelot right now. We're like
And,
running any closer.
So I was thinking,
And eventually we'll just show up.
I don't think I mean, yeah, you roll for the one you're heading into, but I guess tonight technically you'd still be in this hex. But whatever, we'll just roll mountain the whole time.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
choose.
Is that more or less dangerous? Probably more.
Yeah,
over
is it still
mountain.
2 travel encounter possibilities?
Yeah,
No, 3.
yeah, there's 1 for each travel action.
So 3.
No, so
Well,
2
there's 3
for
overall,
the
but
night.
2 for today, and then
2 for today and 1 for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you guys, are led by Moonsong, who seems not like completely like I've been here 100 times. I know exactly, but like to know the layout of this, of where the mountains are here. I mean, yeah, like the way I've represented it on a map is like, ooh, there's like mountains in these places and forests in these places, but it's not really like that. Like all along this valley is like mountainous to some points. It's just like at certain points the peaks like are massive and extend above the like well above the tree line, and at certain points like you're sort of just traveling over like hilly terrain, but it's still forest. So yeah, you guys are sort of like heading out of the tree line and up towards, up into the sort of higher mountains. That you'd sort of seen, like as I guess, I mean, it's worth sort of describing, sort of in retrospect, like these mountains that you see sticking out of the trees, as you kind of came down from Northwood into Deepwood, like you got a kind of weird perspective, like because you were level more or less with the peaks of the mountains, or like maybe even only slightly below the peaks of the mountains when you were sort of coming down from Northwood into here, and now you're much below them because of the sort of altitude difference between there and here. So you got that sort of, I don't know if any of you like had this experience, but like mountains look subtly quite, like the difference is hard to describe, but obvious when you see it. Like if you're looking straight on rather than from like at a kind of like 15-degree angle up at them, there's like a subtle kind of difference in the way mountains look. So you kind of had that perspective earlier, and now those peaks that were previously like in the far distance you were almost looking down on are now sort of towering above you as you move up towards them.
Cool.
Tend to live amongst the mountains, so yes.
yeah. Well, yeah, it was just, where did I I went skydiving in Queenstown, where they shot like the mountains there. The Remarkables were like the backdrop for Mordor, like the edge of Mordor and Lord of the Rings, and it was kind of like weirdly stark to me how different they look from a sort of like you are level with the peaks angle looking at them compared to like you're just at the ground miles away looking at the mountains in the distance. Like it is a weird, slightly different perspective on. As you guys move on in, and we shall roll this and discover that your first morning traveling up through valley and cliff and plateaus is peaceful and quiet. Hard work for the horses.
Poor guys. Poor horse.
And the afternoon is also equally chilled. So you're heading up into the mountains for a full day of travel. Moonsong sort of says you probably won't reach it today at this pace, so we'll get there midday tomorrow or so. But seems, like I said, not completely like, this is basically where I live, sort of sure of the way, but like has traveled here at least before, has had it described, and knows the mountains and knows the regions of the forest and stuff. Yeah, it's leading on confidently.
Good. Man, I gotta say though, it's no fun traveling over mountains.
Yeah, usually it's the least fun.
Yeah, not
It's
really.
definitely a lot slower, and like the horses like slip occasionally, like a hoof sort of.
Some parts are
kind of
difficult.
loose
It's
rock
like
or
pick up the
whatever.
horse and climb it, carry it up to the next little bit.
I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you.
Sure, yeah.
I'm not really used to
Like
it,
you
gotta
definitely
say.
get off your horses at points during the day on like
Yeah.
particularly steep slopes or whatever, and just continue on foot for a bit. And yeah, it's time to make camps. You find like a shallow cave in the mountains to camp in for the night. Not like really large enough to bring a mountainside. You sort of,
Dude, it's like in
outside, but...
The Hobbit when they all get taken in, like in the cave in the mountain.
Oh yeah, there's like a crack in the back, and the goblins are gonna come out, and like yeah.
I better all good on my perception to
Just
find
what
that crack in the wall.
Just goblins. Like yeah.
Oh, 24 perspective.
So with the storm giants?
You playing music again?
All in all, it's just another
Cool
crack
spell
in
that
the
counts.
Okay, your
wall.
stealth is good, perception is good, religion is good, and performance. Oh wow, performance just makes it even better.
Wait, so do you summon like the instrument every time? You don't actually have a normal instrument?
Yeah, I just started. It's a different run than yesterday.
Crazy.
Which one is it today?
Multi-talented.
Yeah, what instrument is it? And what
What's
one-
it? Oh yeah, it's a flute today.
Oh man, what is the newfangled electrical?
Wow.
Yeah, very trend.
Max focus.
Descendant of the Angel of Rock!
Okay, with your perception, you notice that, I don't think how to phrase it. It's always the challenge. How, like, what would you actually perceive about certain things? The wind blows, like, it sort of howls through these peaks stronger than you would like. At night, even, I guess, like it sort of picks up around the time you guys are making camp. And yeah, there's like a sort of a fairly strong howling breeze that sort of captures your attention as you're sort of looking around. Like you find yourself constantly having to,
wrap up against it as you're looking around. You don't find anything, on the ground that's sort of threatening or catches your attention. But there's something to the wind.
As I go back in, I'd be like, it's a cold night tonight. We better wrap up warm. The wind's got quite the chill to it.
The cave makes for good shelter, especially as well stealthed as Bromok has made it.
My usual cuddling partner is gone.
Yeah, like a pleasant tune of fluteness floats out and carries on the wind, such that you can hear it from, almost everywhere as you're receiving. And Leon, you feel that, I guess you get the sense that the sort of the strength of natural spirit and the presence of your goddess that you felt down in the trees is not as present here. It's not that the gods of nature and the spirits of nature have forsaken these mountains. Just that I don't know. There's like a sense of loneliness to them, or they don't feel unnatural. They just feel less natural, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like sort of the woodland spirits and the sort of rituals and stuff that you felt that had been worked in a forest. Like maybe you would have felt them if you'd walked out on the plains and it was just like sort of the strength of natural magic and the gods of nature and the elven forest that you were sensing that you're no longer sensing. But there's just a hint of it's slightly more desolate up here.
Okay.
And we'll discover just how desolate with a push of this button.
La putain.
But nevertheless, the night passes quietly in the cave. No crack opens. No goblins come out and grab anything. And in the morning, the wind has died down. The sun rises, spilling into the mouth of the cave, and the group of you wake up. Except for whoever was last on watch, who was already awake.
They stay asleep forever.
Leon.
They're gone, sir.
Leon was already awake. Sort of sitting in the mouth of the cave, huddled with a shore around him, sort of staring out into the mountain air down the slope.
Like a friendly shove off the edge of the cliff.
A friendly shovel.
I'm like, maybe we could skip the train this morning. It's probably going to be a long day.
I don't know, I could use some exercise. I'm really freezing up over here.
What kind of struggle right there? So let's try hand to hand today. Just like do a little bit of like boxing grabbing.
Alright, well, don't really get these puppies out a lot, but let's give it a whirl.
You just refer to your fists as these puppies.
Yeah.
God. In Nevada, if you get any efficiency in any specific weapon group, it always applies to unarmed as well. So technically, that's unarmed as well.
Interesting.
It's very interesting.
It was kung fu fight.
You can try, bitch.
Oh, you don't wear armor on your face, right? So no AC.
I have a helmet.
What? You can't wear it all the time. I can't picture Leon always wearing a full helmet. Surely not.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, I mean.
I just have the thing.
It's padded for his protection.
I just have it not shown.
Reaction when fighting begins.
It's an RPG. You can click the button, which is like. Don't
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's there, but no, Otherwise, everyone's tokens would be really boring most of the time.
I remember playing a character like that. I did all that. And tonight is
Yeah. So, you guys continue on your way. Boonsong continues leading up the sort of the valley that you guys were heading through, and eventually you find yourselves navigating a narrow sort of ridge high above the valley floor, like a path sort of clinging to the side of this peak. And we move into the next hex.
Come on.
We are mountain traveling one more time over mountains. In a very relaxed kind of way. I remember you guys used to took 8 random encounters on the way back from a fucking forest.
The good old days.
All I'm gonna say, Chris, new session Tuesday.
No, it's never. Alright, I mean, I run into the tomb, Chris. Where are the skeletons?
And yeah, eventually you find yourselves before, or Moonsong, I guess, because you would recognize it first. You find yourself before where you know to be the place. It has, or at least where we're only gonna get only another few minutes away from the entrance there too. It's I'm a DM. I rip off fantasy. It's got a bit of a sort of Path of the Dead vibe from Lord of the Rings. It's very much a like a narrow sort of gully with like one sort of lesser mountain peak climbing up on your left, and like the greater peak of this particular mountain like climbing up on your right. And this like there's a steep-sided gully that leads away between these two, like a path only about 5 feet or so wide, snaking away through the mountain. You probably not ride your horses through here. It's lead them through here.
I can turn with and be like, how far is it? Should we leave our horses back here?
To your recollection, Moonsong, it's like 5 or 10 minutes down here. It's not very far.
It's not very far. It's very close. We can leave the horses here. Yes.
Yeah, maybe best in case there's follow me. You'll leave first.
Oh yeah. I would think
Alright.
Every morning I would also be like casting a spell myself, other than the horse.
Whatever spells.
I do want to mention, obviously, Moonsong, due respects towards you and your ancestors, we are entering the resting grounds of an important figure here. Other than, collecting the mirror, I think we should be as respectful as possible. Don't touch anything we need to. Don't say anything that we don't need to. Just in case.
Got it.
We're just gonna be in and out. Easy.
Yes.
Alright.
Oh, that's
Get us a mirror.
I love that you just cursed us to definitely not have that happen.
Let's just go get a mirror.
Yeah. Quick adventure. Easy.
Okay.
We get it, right?
Yeah, easy. And then they're done. That's it. Good job, guys. Got them now.
Hey, Dragon Destroyed.
You guys proceed down this narrow gully. Before, Moonsong's kind of leading the way. But it's obvious to everyone as you get there that there's a sort of, half cavern, half opening in the wall of this cliff on your right. And as you step in front of it, there's an obvious stone slab, like very, very constructed, blocking what seems to be the entranceway into something in the side of the mountain.
Huh.
Bespeak friend and enter.
Bellom is the word, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We just fucking have to lift up a big old slab of stone.
As you stand there before it,
69.
as you stand there before it, eyes on it.
Ooh, map.
Yeah, you can see that it does just seem to be a slab of stone. There doesn't seem to be a sort of a slit or a gap or anything in it.
Investigation check.
Before the investigation,
No,
and they will. Don't worry, they'll matter. A bright blue sigil of power sort of comes into being on the surface of this stone door before you, and glows there, sort of ominously in the wall before you.
Huh.
I kind of look to Moonsong and like, well, you're a mage. That doesn't mean anything in particular.
I'm not sure.
I believe it's called the Mark of the Rembrandts.
What?
No, I don't say that.
Yeah, Moonsong, you simply recognize it as what the hand on the side of it is, the Mark of the Remembrance. It is it is a mark somewhere between the arcane and the divine, that embodies the spirit of what they did, of their power.
Guess we know we came to the right place then.
Of course.
Is it meant as an information, warning, respect? What are we looking at here?
Yes, do I have to roll anything?
Is it a clue?
Yeah, I mean, everyone give me perception checks.
Oh, I don't have the glass size waters.
Do a GR.
I bet you can't GR it. Can I get to roll again? Good work, Romo.
We'll just live with Bromox. That's fine.
No.
Okay, cool. Wait, where's... Okay. Beck and Leon. You both notice, in addition to this brightly glowing sigil before you, carved along the mantle, the lintel, whatever, the immediately above
The top part.
the slab, or the top part of the slab, is a series of well-concealed, barely visible magical runes. You guys, obviously neither of you are particularly adept, so neither of you immediately recognize what they represent or anything, but you do spot them resting there slightly ominously.
Alright, Beck, we can figure this out. What do they mean? Let's see. The first one. Oh, no, okay, go. Moonsong. Let's point them out.
Okay. Pointing them out, Moonsong, you... Yeah, give me Arcana.
Hidden or?
Hidden, yes, please. You perceive them to have some sort of magical effect, but aren't able to determine exactly what. You're at least able to deduce that they are deliberately hidden, and that opening the pushing forwards the slab, breaking the seal, as it were, for that's indeed what they seem to be, would probably trigger some kind of magical effect within there, but you're not sure at all what it would be.
Okay, yeah. So I bring that forth. Not sure what. I was actually sure. I've never seen this kind of symbol before, but it's definitely something that's going to happen if we break the seal, opening the door. I'm not sure.
Right. Is there a way to deactivate it, get around it?
I'm not sure.
Turn it off? Back on again?
Alright, Leon, it looks like you gotta open the door.
Chap him on the shoulder. Yep, you're a guy.
You reckon that a sufficiently proficient thief might be able to carefully remove the lintel,
Different life.
painstakingly without triggering it. Moonsong, that's what you know through your knowledge of how these things work. Or that something like an effect to dispel the magic could potentially counteract the rune that exists, or the runes that exist. But short of that, you don't know of any way to make it your way inside without triggering.
Okay, I walk forward and wave my hand over the stone slab. And as I do, I say, "We come in peace, with nothing but respect for those that lay at rest." And look at the ruins, and then dejectedly walk back to the party.
Give me
Look, man.
Gianni a religion check.
Into check, you fucking idiot. That's what I do, please.
Okay.
Mello.
Okay. The runes look unchanged.
I'm all out of ideas.
I mean, just open it, Leon.
Someone could try, if any were particularly skilled with a more, dealing ways, precise lock picking or that kind of skill.
Oh, have you seen these hands? They're not
Yeah,
Then we
Well,
get some.
but you never know.
We buy something. Warm.
So, I
Bored.
mean, I have agile fingers and hands. So I could try.
Yeah, but you bought
have
some
done it.
magic sticks, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually forgot. I pull out the chime of opening.
Yeah, that one. I remember that. You said it would be all useful sometime.
Yeah, held in two hands.
I thought it.
Action. I aim at a container, door, or lock you want to open and strike the chime. Chimes
Close
have
enough.
magical vibrations that attempt a thievery check against the lock's DC with a thievery bonus of plus 13.
Sounds good to me.
In the broader sense of the word, this is most definitely a door.
We bought it for it.
Yep. So, do I just make a thievery check with plus 13?
Go ahead.
Oh.
Chris, what was
I
it?
do again, like take a little step back around the corner. It's a little.
Yeah.
I'm gonna re-roll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be a bad idea.
While stepping back, I'm just saying again, nothing but
Technically
respect.
better.
Nothing but respect. And
Yeah, you chime it towards the lintel as best you can deduce that it would have any effect, and nothing seems to happen.
Hmm.
Alright, it's getting silly. Leon, me or you want to fucking push it open? I'll play rock paper scissors first.
Oh yeah, sure. It's been a while. Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
On 3, 2, 1, and then.
Yeah, it's a bit of a delay, I think, but okay.
3, 2, 1.
I can't see what it is.
Okay,
Okay, two scissors.
3, 2, 1.
Up high.
Got him.
Alright, take a step back.
All right.
Oh, I go up to the door. Man, I really hope your ancestor wasn't a real piece of shit. I kind of like go to the door to try to like shove open the slab.
Never know.
It's like, you know, like
Okay,
you.
give me an athletics check.
We're like,
do we have an idea of what type of magical feedback
No.
shit it's gonna give?
Find out.
he didn't roll well enough.
Like, okay.
A non-GR
Yes, I think
for the athletics.
32.
Okay, yeah, you give it a solid shove, and yeah, the lintel breaks, the seal is released, and the slab falls backwards into the space.
Okay.
As it does, everyone please GR me a will save.
What? But I'm so far away.
Back here.
How far away are you?
50 feet.
Yeah, alas, GR me a will save.
Reroll. Where should I reroll? I'll reroll.
Sorry, what again? What
Same.
effect?
Fear.
Fear? No, it's not a fear effect, sorry.
That's my favorite television show.
Oh, yeah.
I re-rolled mine as well, by the way, Chris.
It was terrible, guys.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No one feels anything.
I kind of like you guys still there? You fucked off like cowards.
Just moved around the corner, Peck.
Oh, yeah. Can't see you.
I mean, this is why I won, the whole game.
But it's open.
Hey, great job, friend.
Yeah, it's fucking a bit heavy, but you know. It's all right.
Huh.
I kind of like look like you guys. Doesn't spell or anything, right?
Yeah, we had to make a save, but we didn't notice anything, right?
No.
Like no like magical effects. Wait, watch out. Okay.
No.
Just like I don't know. Does magic expire in time?
Unlikely. Very unlikely.
I guess.
Maybe we were lucky.
Guess
Maybe.
not be able to see past a certain point.
Yeah, without dark vision, you're indeed. It's like
I think I'll use my. Oh, wait, let's see how long my duration of my shield is.
I don't think you're sure. I assumed it was like a minute.
There's no effect. Only if I.
both.
Yeah, there's like no duration. Only if I use the other action. Yeah.
Lay that down, I'll be like, oh head.
Yeah.
I'll just put the torch away and we can have it shield.
Okay, so okay, so hang on. I want to do.
While you guys are doing that, I'm gonna grab another drink real quickly.
So it's bright light for 60 and low light for another 60, right?
I just clicked it away. 6 feet, and then like for a further 6 feet. Yeah, 90-degree cone.
Okay. Total 90 degrees.
center 0. Hey, there we go. How about that? New dynamic lighting works pretty well, huh?
Oh, yeah.
This seems much not better than before.
Yeah, illuminating illuminating brightly a corridor before you, with a slight angular hint to the walls, and a pair of double wooden doors, ancient double wooden doors at the far end. And yeah, there's no particular DC to spot these. Everyone can notice now that they're brightly illuminated, their shadows particularly stand out. I guess Ian and Josh are away, but whatever, I'm going to tell them when they get back. But there are many hundreds of little holes all along the walls. I say hundreds, I don't know hundreds, but many dozens at least.
I wonder what
Many dozens of little holes all along the walls, illuminated by this bright light.
Wait, when did we do this before? There was one with Wacky where I ran through a hole. There was like a tomb with hundreds of.
Yeah, like an orc stash.
Did you copy and paste this, Chris?
I didn't, but there's only like so many hazards at so many levels.
The same hazard. I hated that hazard. I don't even remember it.
Can I try and perceive the floor?
Everyone, please make me a perception test.
Yeah.
Everyone make a GR perception check. Perception always GR.
What's that like?
Moonsong and now just you, Josh. Can you GR me a perception check? Everyone notices that there are many dozens of as this corridor before you is brightly illuminated, many dozens of little holes all along the walls. But no one notices anything else.
Crazy.
Alright, well this looks
What is that over there?
a lot more ominous.
What is it? Chris, I was going when you were
Chops.
There's like hundreds of holes. What's on the other side? What is that?
A pair of double wooden doors, looking pretty ancient.
Alright, so like, but wait, so I didn't notice the little holes, so I did. So
Yeah, everybody.
Everyone notices the little holes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like once the light is there, like the way that they catch the shadows and everything.
And did it go from floor to
relatively
ceiling?
obvious to all of you. Yeah, floor to ceiling. From basically, the space immediately in front of you and Beck, up to just like here, one space shy of the doors at the far end.
I examine the ground in front of me. Do I notice anything which I believe could be like some sort of rudimentary, or some not even rudimentary, some sort of trap?
You notice nothing about the ground, no.
What about the ceiling?
Nor the ceiling. None of you
Damn.
notice anything about the ground or the ceiling, or anything about this space, save for the holes in the walls and the door at the far end.
Alright, well, you did the stone slab, so I guess it's fair if, I'll take a step here.
Shield, while you're going.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did you say?
Raise your shield.
Oh, yeah.
That shield.
I can't actually. I use to raise my shield, exploration activity, and step forward. Bam.
Okay, you step forwards, and everybody roll initiative with perception.
Does that mean that I can give scouts warning?
Yes. You say,
Okay.
look out for the darts.
Yeah.
Darts makes sense.
Right, so this is 2 more. Oh, great.
So shield, doesn't it?
Darts.
Not bad, Moonsong. Not bad.
Tips.
So did I.
Okay. Still shows up.
Now we don't know the modifier.
Well, you had it was a natural 20, 100%.
Could be a plus 30,
Yeah, crit fails a percentage.
Say, well, I guess it rolls with stealth, so.
Man, that how hazards work in it, so you get like 2 eliminations, so weird, they don't act. Oh, they're so fast.
Okay.
Darts are fast.
So, immediately, the whole length of the hall begins to fill with tiny little toxic darts, where you don't know they're toxic,
Very green.
Right to left, across the length of the room.
Look out, they might be toxic.
Um,
Toxic.
and yeah, makes an
Don't
attack
you know
against
that
Leon.
toxic?
Not like actually in the hallway like this, where like I'm in the opening.
Ooh, Leon, what is your AC?
30.
30?
Hmm.
With the shield
Crits?
raise, or do you mean?
No,
Your
no,
shield
but
raised, right? It's
yeah,
30?
normally it's 28. No, sorry.
Yeah, okay, so a toxic dart as one of the many toxic darts flies out of the wall and hits Leon right in the neck.
Oh,
Very, very painfully.
it's crazy. That's scary.
Might have done. Yeah, you take 12 piercing damage.
Okay.
Is it pierce you hard enough to draw a nasty amount of blood and make a fortitude saving throw?
Cast roll again. Fortitude saving throw, gotcha.
Stop GRing him.
Okay, for now you feel fine.
Stop GRing him.
Okay. Should really still have a reroll, Chris.
Moon Song. You weren't going to reroll a natural 12, like, come on.
Might have.
That's just asking for trouble.
It's crit when he had 30 AC, you know?
That's reasonable.
You took some damage, right? Or...
Yeah.
Yeah, a dart like catches Leon in the neck
He
past
hasn't
the shield.
moved HP though, Leon.
Yeah, sorry. I can't take a reaction because I have an
Total
emotion.
of 12 piercing.
He had like 10 HP as well, though.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Man.
I'll always remember except for this time.
So you said it's like full of it, like are they continually basically?
Yeah, like tink, 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 all up and down the...
Interesting.
Wait, so why do they have initiative? What is this?
Weird, because they do.
Got him.
Exactly.
It's just how traps work in this edition. I mean, the whole like within the rules of Pathfinder 2, like this whole if you're doing a conversation where like persuasion and stuff happen, or diplomacy and stuff happens, like initiative for conversations, and people like roll initiative for like deception or persuasion and stuff. But like whatever, you know, diplomacy initiative. That's insane.
Is there a way to make it so that instead of it being attack rolls against me, I can make it reflex saves? Because
You look at the darts unoptimistically. In
Damn
that respect.
like that's the one thing from 5e which was true now. I have evasion and I can't use it against this.
Anyway, Moonsong, what are you doing?
Moonsong, what up?
Song, yeah.
I think it, like, by the way, are they perfectly traveling like up to down, like so in holes above, holes down?
No, holes in the wall, so left to right, but like the full up down length. There's like holes near the floor, holes near the ceiling, like
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
So
I mean, not like it's like every like you know, like probably over the whole length of the hall, like 3 or 4 darts firing every second. So they're not like absolutely everywhere all
Right.
the time. It's not like a cloud of darts in front of you. But
True,
like, think, just like
but
little
my
darts
question
flying
is-
everywhere.
so it's even like again millimeters above the ground, right?
Yeah, like you'd have to be really
And-
short to avoid these.
Right. Other question would be, so is it just going through the other wall, like holes on the other side of the wall,
No,
or is
they're
it
just bouncing-
clanking
they're just
against
bouncing
them?
off
Oh,
the wall and clinking to the ground.
so how long do I think it will take for it to run itself out, or just fill the entire chamber with nothing but darts?
It'll probably take hours to fill the whole chamber with nothing but darts at the rate that it's firing. As for running
Alright.
out, that's very hard to estimate.
Right.
so they are like going through this area as well, or
No, those final squares at the far end of the room seem empty. They seem like with you guys' perception is good enough to tell, but like there's
Yeah.
like the far
So-
end seems safe.
I
so
just realized,
everywhere, the whole.
out of curiosity, mechanically, how would this work then if you were invisible and attack rolls from this thing?
Interesting question. And I guess we would
What's happening? What are we
I
doing?
mean, okay, let me just go routine.
What's happening?
Just reading the whole thing. Josh is asking what would happen if you were invisible.
Oh.
No, okay, yeah. As far as you can tell, it would make no difference.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't seem like there's any rhyme or reason to the way they're firing.
But what's Moonsong doing?
Well, okay. First I would say,
You know what? Actually, no. Like, the dart that Leon triggered seemed like, you know, although they're sort of like going think all the time, like, definitely seemed to be like triggered by him, like, stepping right in. Like, he stepped right in and they started going off, but like one went straight for his neck. You think that being invisible might have some benefit here? Like, there is some sort of magical field or aura or something that like is detecting the presence of individuals here, and like invisibility might have.
Yeah, so I don't see like signs of a pressure plate that was triggered or something.
No,
It's
you don't
more
see a
of
pressure
yeah.
plate, no. Yeah, it's reasonable.
Said, so I tell Moonsong that as well, because I know I saw her wearing like boots and cloak of elvenkind.
yeah. So it would be. Yeah. So the first thing I would do is I would say, Leon, are you okay?
Oh, I mean, it scared me a little bit, but I'm mostly fine, yeah.
And then he falls asleep.
No.
But into the room just keeps getting shot.
I don't know if we have much of a choice than just trying to run through.
Dunk, 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 all through the room.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's like, don't do that.
But do something, please.
Chris,
Okay,
how does my item work again? With its the artifact. Where is it? I'm trying to remember if it goes with me or if it's like a barrier in one place.
No, it goes with you.
Okay. So I mentioned like I think I'm gonna have a good chance, but if I want to have everyone step out of the room and like do a bit of setup, and then I think I can make it to the other side really quickly.
I'll be glad to let you try. I don't have many ideas, but if you think something works, then go for it.
I think it's worth a try rather than just trying to run through it while it's all active right now.
I think this is the limit to the amount of talking that happens in Moonsong's
Yeah,
time, by the way.
Fair.
I don't take much actions other than step back now.
No, just step back then.
Okay, yeah, you guys both just step back and let Bromok go. Okay, cool. Bromok.
So again, I'm gonna do a round of prep because it's like 3 actions to get ready, and then I'll go. But basically, I
Okay.
pull my shield out, and then I pull my hood up to activate invisibility,
Okay.
and then I activate my bracelets of dashing.
Remember, those only last until the beginning of your next... Oh, your bracelet's dashing. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's, cool. That's a different thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, okay, you activate all of that stuff.
I should do.
I guess
yeah,
then I
okay,
technically move to right here, like to the edge, so I'm as close to the end as possible.
Okay.
Give you a nod and I'll try and step back out. Or I guess I'll move here.
Like you just step back out of the area and the darts continue firing in the corridor.
I'll pull out the dart in my neck. Throw
Yeah,
it
that's fine.
in.
Okay, yeah, like the Moonsong. Just waiting, delaying.
Yeah.
Moonsong back any. Okay, cool. Back anything, or just waiting for Bromok to go again?
Yeah.
Okay, Bromok, you're up.
Okay, so I'm invisible. I have my bracelets of dashing on, so I spend 1 action to activate my wind barrier,
Okay.
and then I
Do one action of moving at a time.
Okay. So, what is my movement now? I forget how much it actually adds. Bracelets of dashing.
Good question.
10.
Plus 10. Yeah, so it's 35.
Okay, yeah. As you get there, you're invisible. But
Very light on my
nevertheless,
feet.
That does surpass. Yes, that beats the check required. So, okay, and yeah, what's your AC now against range attacks?
28.
Okay, so yeah, it doesn't catch you in a particularly vulnerable place, but a dart does. Like one of the darts does like fly out of the wall and catch you like in the side, dealing unto you some amount of piercing damage. You take 9 piercing damage. Go ahead and make a fortitude save.
Fuck me, my rolls today, man, have not been great. All right.
Okay, yeah, you take 1 poison damage and clumsy 1.
Okay. I know what that does.
Negative to all dex checks and saves.
That's part of the minus 1 dex, yeah. You'll live. I've lived my entire life being clumsy one.
Precisely. It is, yeah, you take a status penalty equal to condition value to dexterity-based checks and DCs, including AC, reflex saves, range attack rolls, and skill checks using acrobatics, stealth, and thievery. Yeah, that's in your first move.
And then, I guess I get all the way to the end.
Yeah, okay, so you make it through, and yeah, they're still hissing through the air behind you, but there seem to be no holes here or any occupying this particular space.
Okay.
And yeah, you don't get hit anymore. So as you basically sprint the full length, and about 2/3 of the way down, like one of them just like by chance catches you in the side, and you feel like a bit of sort of clumsiness slip over your body, but you manage to make it to the end anyway.
And then at the end of my turn, does it go away?
It doesn't seem to.
Fuck. Okay.
Actually, good question. I think the end of your time make another fortitude save. I think you make it with how do poisons work in Pathfinder 2? Who knows?
Yeah, they have a duration.
Does it have an onset duration?
No onset duration.
If it doesn't
immediately, and then I think you just make a save at the end of your turn, right?
If it doesn't otherwise specify, I think it's like at the end of turn.
Yeah, end of your turn. Okay, so make another fortitude save for the end of your turn.
Oh my fucking get. Huzzah.
Okay, you take another 5 poison damage and feel even more clumsy. You are clumsy too.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bromlock makes it to the end. I mean, I know none of you see this because Bromlock is invisible. So Bromlock just disappears.
Like, I guess, like, I can still talk if I'm... Yeah, I'll have a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, you over there, Brom?
Yeah, that got hit though.
How you doing?
You okay?
I think the poison's taken at least a little bit of effect.
Yeah, you hear Bromlock like slightly slurring, like Bromlock's a little sort of dazed or... Yeah.
Confused.
And yeah, this is Leon, it's now your turn.
Actually, can I be into the initiative, please?
Oh yeah, sure. At 25.
Yeah.
Go there then.
I'm gonna be like, oh, fuck this. And I'll activate the basis of dashing myself, and I'll just also like just sprint after who I imagine Bomber's gone to.
Okay, what's your movement basis of dashing? 40. Okay, so show me your first move. I assume, yeah, you get 40 is somewhere in the room, so you get 1 attack against you, and then you can make it to the end. Okay. Yeah, you got enough movement that even if you like accidentally ran into Bromlock's space, you'd be able to find a space next to Bromlock. So and this thing does not let up. What's your AC?
28.
Oh yeah, right in the neck.
Right in the neck?
Right in the neck.
Wait. Wait, how does that equipment work? How do the bases and missile deflection work? Do I have to say before? Again, you tell me if it is? Probably right. Oh, let me check.
I think it's a hit, not crit, or it's something like that.
A range contact. Oh, it crits me, right, Chris?
It does indeed crit you, yeah.
And I can't even use the base. It's so sad.
So you take 14 piercing damage and make a fortitude save.
That's more than everyone else with Chris. No fair.
You have 28? I thought you had 27.
I'm normally wielding my weapon in 2 hands. As I'm like sprinting, I'm not wielding in 2 hands.
Yeah, I know, but I have 28. But I have a +1 blade, right?
I have a +1 full blade.
Oh, you have a +1? Oh, cool. Yeah, okay, sure. No, I'm moving.
Okay, anyway, sorry, Chris. What's 48?
Fortitude save, yeah.
At least you're good at these.
Oof. Yeah, no kidding.
Give it a second, and no, you seem fine. You don't feel you tug it out of your neck as you're running along. It doesn't seem to take a hold on you.
Yeah, just doesn't help when you roll 2 nat 3s in a row.
That's how it be.
Yeah, and then I run over the rest of it, and it seems kind of safe enough.
Yeah, exactly. You sort of like again pressed up against this wall, like there. You can see where the holes are. They're hissing through the space in front of you, and that was dashing and 2 moves, right? So no like actions left to seek or do anything. So yeah, cool. Yeah, Leon or Moonsong if you want to re-enter. To you.
Okay.
I'll look over to Moonsong and I'll be like, well, do you have any other plans? Otherwise, I think I'm gonna do mostly what he did, except at a slightly lower pace of walk. All right.
No. I guess we're gonna have to try the same thing.
That's what I thought. Oh, rip.
Like a boss. Give us that XP, Chris. We have vanquished it to the foe.
I will. How much HP am I down? Not too much.
7.
Yeah. Not enough for a lay on hands. Maybe I've get hit in the middle.
Sanity, yeah.
I'll use my first move action to get 25 feet here.
Just saying, if you
Well-
want to gain the AC bonus, you have to raise your shield before you.
Yeah, raising my shield.
Oh, but then he can only move twice, he won't get to the end, right?
Yeah, but like again, if I move,
Use all 3 actions, you could like go. Yeah.
nah, I kind of like not getting to the end.
Oh.
Damn.
So shield raise.
Yeah.
Give you the icon. Okay, so there. Oh, 30, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like a dart flies out straight towards your side, but you manage to, like in a flash, whip your shield around and catch it on the tip of your shield as it's about to hit you.
This isn't slashing damage, right? This is piercing damage. Okay. Okay, I'll move again. Huh. I think it's close enough.
I think that was only 20, right?
Okay, sure. Bam.
Take it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You were here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
25 step. Okay. And as you get there, another dart just happens to fly out, and this one does strike you on the other side where your shield wasn't facing. Before you can react to it, dealing unto you 3 piercing damage, and
I'll shield
make
block
a
it.
fortitude saving throw.
No, wait.
Shield block it?
No, wait. If I use my reaction now, I don't have a reaction for the rest of the round.
next
Until
turn, yeah.
Until your next turn.
Yeah, no, I won't. The darts are gonna do something maybe. 3 damage and fortitude.
Dart's not gonna do anything. Ignore the initiative.
They might.
The jarring all-face. No, you feel good.
Okay.
Yeah, you never get to see your moves.
You're on a 33.
Nice.
Okay, Moonsong, you want to re-enter or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will.
15.
I won us. She lined us up. She got us. Yeah, she got us.
Yeah, she closes the door, walks away.
Not
Okay,
Nick.
Moonsong, take it away.
We see like a pile of corpses in this corner.
No, and you said darts aren't in this area either, right?
Yeah, correct.
Thank you. So I will move here. I will activate my bracelets, dashing, and
It really gets me some of those, huh?
maybe yeah. And then I will not use my third action. I'll wait for next turn.
Okay. At this point, think. Another dart flies out towards you, Leon. This one catches you in the leg,
Shield can't reach on.
Jesus.
dealing unto you 5 piercing damage.
I'll shield block it.
No damage. Insane.
Shield block it, no damage. And I think I've previously ruled in the past, no damage equals like no poison application, right?
Insane.
I mean, it makes sense, right?
Yeah, it's not real. It's probably makes shield block slightly more powerful than it's supposed to be, but whatever. We'll continue with that rule.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, you managed to catch this one on your shield as well. Bromok.
So much more smart than Captain America.
So, what actions do I have to try to give myself a boost here on this stupid save so I don't keep failing it? Is there anything?
I can treat poison you next turn. Apart from that,
You
like,
can drink an
If you have
oxytocin.
first aid, you don't have true poison, right?
Rip zombs.
then you gotta be wearing the healer's tools. I'm pretty sure I have.
No.
Yeah, tree poison requires
What
healer's
do
tools.
I
Yeah, requirement,
have
you
on my
healer's tools.
bandolier?
We have healer's gloves as well, right?
Yeah, but I don't think that helps.
Okay. Oh, so I could take. Yeah. It's a lesser though, which is much better than I would normally want for just the few damage that I've taken. If I had like a basic ass elixir of life, do that because that would give you +1 on the save against poison.
I have a moderate.
Yeah. So again, they're just more powerful than I would want to use against that. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'll take a look over here at this other door then.
It just seems to be. It doesn't even seem to be locked. It just seems to be a pair of wooden doors that could be pushed open.
Oh, as I can feel, it's almost my turn. I will go, like, can you make yourself visible? I want to see if I can do something about that, the poison.
You guess the straw already.
Like a waste of an invisibility, but sure.
But if you want to be helped, then I can't do it to invisible.
Yeah. So I guess I'll use an action to pull the hood back, revealing myself. I will use a second action to, I mean, might as well reactivate my air barrier just in case.
Yep.
And then also I will draw my bow. And like,
Yeah.
get ready for him to open the door just in case.
Beck.
First action, I will attempt to treat poison check.
Oh, at the end of my turn I have to make another save, don't I?
Oh
First.
yes, of course you do. Yeah, go ahead. Fort save.
Yeah, it's some. Yeah, if it
Oh
doesn't.
my
fail-
fucking god.
I don't see it yet, but
It's a 17.
ah,
So I got a 4.
yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So yeah, the
paralyzed?
poison is taking you badly. It's ravaging
Jesus
your
Christ,
your
these
physique. You
rolls,
take
man.
4 poison damage and are clumsy 3.
Yikes.
Nice.
Oh baby.
It's not my day, guys.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and refresh roll 20, you fucking shit.
That'll do it. Beck, you're up.
Yeah, oh, first action, I will attempt treat poison action. So that's a 1 action thing. It's just a medicine check and the poison DC. Unless opponent could fail.
If you do, Bromuk's straight up just being retired at this point.
Dex isn't important
He's
for
dead
you.
to this game. Roll 20 does not want him alive.
Just like goes back into the poison dart galleon.
Just like, just leave me, guys. I'm done.
Okay.
Oh, baby.
I throw the trumpet at someone and fuck the gold.
So what does successful treat poison do?
They get +2 on the next saving throw.
Nice. You get +2 on your next saving throw, Josh.
This is gonna be 19.
Yeah, I don't know how much more I can do. And then I'll, yeah, I mean, you're not that low on HP yet, so I won't worry too much about that. I'll try to, like, I look behind, I see Leon, like, sprinting up, and, like, man, I gotta get out of his way. So I, like, you know, I right to jump open the door in front of me.
Okay, it takes an action, but you shove them both open.
Oh
And then
god.
I'll, use my last
Here's all
action.
the victims of Moon Song.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Cool. Leon.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah, Bromok, you get a view of you get a glimpse of what you're seeing, but I won't say.
Yep.
I won't spoil it for the others.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
It's pitch black. I don't even see 5 feet, Chris. It's just crazy.
You do see my eyes go a little, oh shit.
It's fine.
We'll like consistently trucking along. I'll yell over my shoulder. You mentioned healing. How about treating poisons? Towards Moonstone.
I can try with tools. I think I can do it with magic.
Alright.
Shit. What's magic good for, man?
Oh, I can't see you from here? What the
Exactly.
fuck?
What is it good for?
Oh, because it's like it takes forward.
Absolutely nothing.
I'll stand next to you and like slap my hand on your arm and give you a lay on hands. So that you're full.
Okay.
It's huge amounts, right?
That was down 19.
24. It's over
How
here.
many? 24? Yeah, so I'm back to full. Cool.
I can't go Leon. I can't do too much up here. I need some light.
Oh yeah. So that's one move and then I'll move over here.
Then
Oh.
2, 3.
Can I angle it like this?
Yeah, you can rotate your token.
What?
He is now headbutting Beck.
Put that shield down. I don't like seeing that.
Yeah, now there's multiple people seeing them. You guys see a large pile of bones.
Yep.
Up in there. Well, okay, but Leon, Why are you facing?
I'm just like looking around, you know, angling the shield and like a.
But put it back straight in front of me. I can't see shit.
I'll put the Leon back here. You don't get to do that. You can face it one way. You can choose at the end of your turn, I think, which way it's facing. Like, once you've done that, it's facing. Like,
Facing forward.
I'll say, yeah, I think that seems really. As like a free action, you can re-angle the way it's facing once per turn. Like,
Process 6 seconds, like.
well, like, yeah, and I think, yeah, that's once as a free action, and then
Yeah.
like, you can just freely re-angle it, and then otherwise, like, if you attack a certain direction, it'll face that way, so you can re-angle it multiple ways by like attacking multiple different enemies. But that's the way it.
Complicated rules just getting into them.
Yeah,
And they're like just like biles.
we'll forget them my next session and make up a new way it works.
Top. Universe magic.
Okay, Moonsong.
I will cast shield and run through.
Such a long spell.
Okay, make your first move.
Pretty long spell, yeah. Just like automatic head into it.
There, 25 AC.
25 AC. Okay, yep. One strikes you as you run through the gallery.
Shield reaction thing.
You're a lucky person, that Tom.
Okay.
Only strikes you, you lucky boy.
What does the reaction do? Oh shit.
Shield. It's shield block reaction.
Hardness
how
5.
much? How much does it? Because the damage is 12.
Hardness
Is
is
it-
10.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
2 damage. And
2 damage and make a as
And
it
it-
pierces through your shield, make a fortitude saving. throw.
and it does not. It just it goes through the shield, but it just kinda slips away. It doesn't strike me. I think
Really?
Oh yeah, no, of course. no, you're
damage.
Right, yeah, it just slips past your ethereal form,
Crazy.
like passes straight through Moonsong and crashes against the far wall.
And
I'll wait here a goddamn minute. That's not the way D&D is supposed to be played, damn it.
Things is Pathfinder. Okay, we can exit initiative now. Everyone's through the poison dark area.
Well, no, he can't.
At least them all now. It's gone.
But he's alright, but I guess we had to all take turns around.
Yeah.
Yeah, do we just wait until I'm done?
Yeah, we'll just wait until you're done. It doesn't last that long, to be honest.
You're gonna be fine now.
So everyone, so it's Bromwalk's turn now. So Bromwalk, take a turn, and
Yeah,
then
torchlight bow, because I want that rod. The Leon's being annoying with the shield. Can I just stick it in my belt?
you're.
What do you mean I'm being annoying? I'm facing it.
Okay, wait. Let Bromwalk take a turn. Okay, Bromwalk, yeah. You feel yourself get slightly better from the poison.
Okay.
You take 5 poison damage again, but your clumsiness reduces slightly.
Oops, not negative. That's I'm apparently super dead. Oops.
My turn.
Oh, there
I'll
we go.
attempt another cheat poison, Chris, as well as sticking the ever-burning torch in my.
Okay, so first action, you stick the ever-burning torch in your belt.
Can I draw it, then you stick it in my belt?
Okay, yeah, so no, you're right. No, just drawing it and sticking, like drawing it to your belt is, I think, one action. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, and then.
Yeah, like a regular torch you couldn't, but ever-burning torch shed no heat. So it's like 20 bright and then 20 low light, I think.
So let me check. Ever-burning torch. Just says it's a torch. What's a normal torch?
I believe
Maybe.
2020.
Torch.
Torch
20
is 20 foot dark, 20 foot dim. Yeah, okay, so.
Cool.
Oh, that's a bit grim.
Then I'll stick it. Not stick it. Medicine check. Medicine button. I will use one of my real. No, it's only crit fail.
Is it a crit fail?
No.
What's the normal?
I don't know if you get this assignment.
Be fine. No crit fail, right, Chris?
Doesn't seem to be a crit fail now.
It's so good. It's so good. I'll save you for when I do crit fail, man.
Yeah.
Next. I'm like, damn it, the poison's strong.
Okay, Moonsong and that's your 3 action. No, there's only 2 actions, right? Or do you have to move to do that?
Say it's one
No, he
action.
was-
It doesn't say you can't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wait, oh yeah, you can't. Yeah, it does. Can't try again until the next time they attempt to save. I really hit action and I can't do this.
Okay, yeah.
Last action, you know.
Okay.
I tell the stand up goddamn straight.
And yeah. Okay, we get to what would be Leon's turn. But this is when light first entered this chamber and I flooded it. So at this point, the mounds of bones quiver and rumble,
Oh no.
and
No, no, no.
side, as large figures straighten up.
No, fall. Oh, baby, those are big boys.
And make an erupt from the piles of bones. And everyone, Gronk will just keep your poison saves up on your turns, but everyone, you guys roll perception initiative.
They're huge.
Actually, they will roll perception initiative as well.
They're huge.
And you guys get a +2 still, yeah.
Yes.
Chris, on my last action, you skipped over too quickly for me.
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
I put the weapon in both hands.
You know what, Beck?
Funny feeling.
Yeah,
No.
that's reasonable, I think. At this point, you
Well,
guys
the
level 7 and stuff now. Like, if you're like a first level adventurer and you're like, I don't know what these bones are gonna do, I'd be like, bullshit. You know what? You know
It's
what?
also
I
the
think
thing-
that's like not
It's a-
not too crazy. You like try and save them and then you put the weapon in both hands. Like something's
Something's technically, I can just
something's
change my-
fucky.
like, it's a free action, so there's no reason why I wouldn't do this.
Mhm,
Like, it's
mhm.
like, oh, it would be like, I didn't do it.
Okay.
It all makes sense.
And what are we talking? Evil, monster. I think it's monster. Let's just go like this.
It's evil?
They're monstrous.
All right. And believe it or not, I need another Wii.
Oh, it's great.
It's like the third time in this session, guys. I'm sorry, my bladder controller is just bad.
Apparently.
That's unhealthy.
Surprised, man.
Skeletons, but I have a slashing weapon. Where's my
Yeah.
bludgeoning great sword?
Oh yeah, good luck. I have a piercing weapon. It basically does
Same.
nothing. It basically heals them at this point.
Yay, first combat using the spear. That's piercing.
Yeah.
They have the same resistance to slashing.
Look,
weapon.
guys.
Yeah. Well, I know they do on piercing because I was
some-
basically completely
I may have
useless
some help.
in the last cave we were in against skeletons. I was basically useless.
Yeah, Tom, I'm expecting this Doom to be like basically like a Moonsong hype campaign.
I
So
don't know,
that-
man. This first part didn't feel like it.
Not like,
Even though I managed to get through
not
nicely.
like Sky Oracle, right, or some shit, yeah?
The Cosmos, yeah, I'm the Cosmos Oracle, yeah.
I knew there was like an airish one where you like float or like it's
Yes.
like, you know. Yeah.
I immediately start like this one when I first started Oracle, yeah. I do have some bardic. It's just bardic music. That's why it's Moon Song, you know.
Genius.
So it's
Genius.
genius. Nick.
Genius.
Genius.
Song is music. Wow.
I'm so sad that my stupid wounding boon isn't gonna work when it's incomplete, so it's sad.
I mean, it's undead, right? So it's probably got the normal like negative healing stuff, so you could just like heal it to
No,
death.
it's a cat.
Yeah, this I have many things I can use, I guess. Yeah.
The classic.
It's a
you
kitty
can't-
cat.
Come an encounter, they can show off that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. And it is gone. Okay, I'll just close the door again real quick.
Bye, kitty.
That didn't last
Take it
long.
away, back as these enormous, hulking skeletons emerge from these piles of bones.
But in, I use another action to become angry. I'm so angry.
Like this.
Wait, I thought it was your
Like,
secrets.
Up top right, like.
Why would I not be attacking both of them? Because I've got
Of
a
course.
death wish.
Yeah.
of course.
Well, and it helps prevent them getting through to the back line, so I like that.
That bit. But okay, and then last action, I will attack it. I will choose the one up top,
Oh, so one to the left.
to my left exactly. I'm like, I feint at the guy in front of me, not really a feint, but that's an action. Then I swing at the guy on the left.
I think he just swings at the guys on the left.
I feint. At least I think it's a feint. I click the button and we will wait up to utter.
Wait until Ian's character sheet decides it wants to roll.
It is time to see the miss. I mean, I can't click it again, but then it will be bad. Alright. It's be bad anyway.
Maybe you should have clicked again, you know. Maybe the Sakura would have shown first.
24.
24. Alas, it strikes against its armor and does not quite cut through and deal it damage.
Bullshit. Funny.
Okay, Bromok, you're up.
Alrighty, so I'm going to hunt prey, the upper skeletal hulk.
Hunt it good.
Okay, hunted.
And then I will do skirmish shot. So I basically stride, but I'm gonna basically do the equivalent of a step to there, because then
Okay.
technically from center to center is, Moonsong's there, but she's not fat. So
I mean, no, it's with Moonsong space in the walls. It's definitely lesser cover at the very least.
Okay.
I'm afraid.
But at least it's not within volley range, so
Yeah, there's that.
But they're still fucking goddamn clumsy too. So here's my first. So 23. Yep. It's
You
gonna
know,
be a
you
miss.
feel pretty good about it, but your clumsiness is just not
Yep.
quite.
Yeah.
It's just not
And then
quite on.
for my so that was one action. No, two, because hunt prey.
Yeah.
My
right.
third will
Damage
be the
strikes
hunted
again.
shot to do shots 2 and 3.
Okay.
So that's 24 now because it's -2 + 1, so
And
still a
last-
miss, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, there it is. The last one, though. You snake
18.
it through and catch it right in the face. It's right in its skeletal face.
and it's pinned.
Pin it against the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, so 18, and then it's got a bit of resistance, so it looks like this.
Yeah, I figured that. All right, and now my stupid old fort save.
You got it.
Yeah,
Steve.
go
You
ahead.
got this, fam.
Yes, let's go.
Oh, that is a critical success. Improves by 2 steps the effect of the poison. Ends on that.
Fucking finally.
You got it, bro.
As the adrenaline of combat flows through your veins, like, oh shit, can't be poisoned anymore.
Poison
Fuck.
gets scared away.
Yeah.
Okay, Leon.
Alright, I'll take a step. I'll raise my shields.
Looking at the ground,
Mhm.
Leon. Someone-
Let's take a step forward, take a step.
Leon.
He's headbutting you, apparently,
just-
into the enemy.
I was really shy up there.
It's so stupid. Fix it.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
2 more. 5, 6.
We have 30 movement.
Oh. I thought,
You wish, you wish.
yeah, normally it's like 6 squares, but D&D is standard 30, you're right.
Yep.
Then with my last action, I know enough about skeletons in general that they're just classically evil creatures, right?
As far as you know, they typically are.
I mean, this isn't a...
Skulls based on their skulls.
I know you face your token out the right way, but unless you're like this, they're not actually both in your.
Oh my
Yeah,
god. But I
you're
can
like-
face it that way, Chris, but just have the token on.
Okay, hang on. Yeah. I can. Give me a second.
Okay, I will, with my last action, use... Oh, wait, is this Smite Evil! Oh, I
Try this.
said it only to the GM.
Does that work? Hang on, let me just see where this. Yeah, that works. That works.
Smite Evil! Against this boy right here.
Okay. Turn until the start of your next turn. Excuse me. What?
Yeah.
Oh, but it needs to hit an ally. If it hits an ally, okay, yeah. Attacks one of your allies, then you have to hit them. Okay, cool. God, I need to smite
Oh,
it.
if it's attacking me, it'll hit me. Don't you worry about that bit.
Probably gonna crit you a lot.
Okay. So that was smited. I don't know.
And I'll say as I'm doing it, pointing my spear at that holy energy flowing towards it, I'll be like, focus on me, big boy, focus on me. But he probably doesn't understand me. Okay, but yeah.
Okay, this one. Simply from where it's standing in this pile of bones, claws at you 3 times, Beck.
That's so simple yet so elegant.
So simple yet so elegant. What is your armor class, please?
26.
26. So the first one crits you horribly
Been
for
there,
34 damage.
been there before, my friend. Don't you worry about it. Okay, I guess I should see that one coming. Yeah. Go ahead.
Second one. Gotta wait. 26, you said?
Yeah.
Second one barely misses you.
Oh.
Sails through the air, inches from your face, as you're left bloodied by the first blow, and the final one, yeah, misses you by a substantial margin.
Alright. No, could be worse.
You say that to
This
yourself.
one sweeps broadly at the pair of you. Making an attack against Beck first, missing.
Oh my god, this is insane.
And against Leon, ooh, missing badly. Ooh, natural 1, ouch.
Oh.
Maybe you should take that.
And then finally,
Hey, it's a skeleton. Does it drop its hand? You know.
finally makes it swings massively with its right arm and then makes a jab with its left arm towards you, Beck.
Go jabby.
But misses again.
Alright, we can do this, boys. We can do this.
Moonsong.
We can do this.
Okay, I will.
Okay, but considering it targeted targeted back as well.
Yeah.
Smite Evil continues.
We get 100% attack.
Yeah.
Line of fire.
Yeah, like it definitely targeted Beck solidly but honestly with both of them, like it targeted Beck at some point. So
Yeah, because they just jabbed me a second.
yeah, exactly. But like even the first one counts as targeting you too.
It even
Even
does
the
your
broad
target
swipe.
attacks. No, I didn't even say strike, so I think it's like magic as well.
And it's same as Zoms
Yeah.
isn't here because Zoms had the knowledge about everything because he kept recalling knowledge. So
Yeah.
we had to we reset the catalog of things that are
Yeah.
record knowledge against.
What you up
Well,
to?
he did that in lieu of using the horn ever. So I don't know.
Why would you use the horn if you can recall knowledge?
I just kidding.
You're up, Moonsong. Okay, so that's a move.
Yeah. I move over here and then I assess the situation very quickly. Decide for a perfect spell for this situation, and I will cast Holy Cascade.
Uh,
Yay.
You
Blackie
go
back is just like
I think you mean Holy Hand Grenade.
going back there. So
Oh,
it
look at
gets
those
the hope
numbers.
and shit.
Look at that 66.
I think it's 66. Not the best.
Yeah.
66.
6654.
Not fiends of any sort, unfortunately. But damage against undead and against fiends. Okay.
Yeah.
Tossing it.
This is what it does when you pull
air
the thing
and
from the
cascade.
spell.
Additional 66 to. Okay, wait. Okay, so 9 bludgeoning. And
Just use
that
6
follows
bludgeoning
it.
and then
And there's like no
It just falls
saves
at
or anything. Oh yeah, no reflex save. Of course there is.
Yeah.
Okay. Against
Amazing.
both of them. Okay. So the one at the top does pass its basic saving throw, I'm afraid. And the one at the bottom, oh, they both rolled exactly the same thing and both passed their saving throws.
Correct.
So I gotta do bludgeoning, but they have no resistance against bludgeoning. So that against that one, and that. Oh no, sorry, it should be halved. Oops.
Oh.
Sorry, Leon.
There we go.
Okay, so hang on. So actually, that's that much bludgeoning, and this one takes this much bludgeoning. I don't know why I'm doing them separately, but I think the damage sources should apply like this. And then 29 positive to undead, so that much on that one, and yeah, that much on that one. As like a cascade of radiant energy fills the space, blasting them both. There's a sort of they both issue sort of high-pitched and guttural are opposite things. High-pitched wailing screeches as the radiant energy soaks into their bones.
Wait a minute, I can do that.
Would be my turn.
I power attack. Gotta get through those resistance. I power attack the one at the top, Chris.
Okay.
On the right. I can't see the one on the right.
Oh, I would like to do single target DPS this fight. If you were getting six attacks a turn on you, I bet you would have wanted to split DPS either. I might want to be also going to say this.
Okay.
This is you hit the disc.
Is it good enough to hit?
It's all you, baby.
I won't reroll.
You won't re-roll?
I'll reroll.
No, that's very mean of me. I'm sorry. I shouldn't. I was implicative. I was horribly implicative. I won't let you re-roll because I was mean. You hit.
I was gonna say it'd be kind of fun if you re-rolled just for the crit damage, then fucking 94.
Look at that. 94.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, you hit that one up
Jesus
there.
Christ.
We all know. You said it.
11, 11, 10 on the D12.
Well, technically that's 26 against.
That's a 1 in a million.
That's cover from him, but yes, 25 is in fact enough. You figured it out.
I'll go fishing with my mind.
I felt so bad when you said I will reroll. I'm like, no, I can't do that. I can't just be like
Let's see what
messing
you
with
would
my
roll.
eyes and make Ian waste a hero point.
Alright, yeah, I'll just swing it again with my minus.
I mean, it's like 10 minutes to session.
Minus 10, baby.
Just at 20 it, man.
Minus
Like
10,
I said!
baby.
Dude, you would have done 34 more damage.
Oh,
Chris.
shit.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
people do
shit.
attack, I would've-
You
94.
smash this one to smithereens.
Oh,
Its bones collapse back into the
Yeah.
pile, and it's gone.
That's what I thought, you piece of shit. Turn to the next one, Chris.
Okay.
Let's go.
You're your own hype man. Damn.
Okay, Bromok.
Alright, so I will skirmish strike into this square
Yeah, that seems decent.
and shoot this motherfucker.
Yeah, it's plenty of distance away for your volley. It's like Beck's in the way. It's
Oh, yeah.
definitely lesser cover.
28 for a whole whopping 6.
It takes
five.
a little bit of damage.
I saw a dude.
I'm guessing resistance 5?
You might be right. You might
Yeah.
be right.
Alright, and then I will hunt prey it before shooting it with shots 2 and 3 on my hunted shot.
Okay. That does not hit.
Oof.
No, that's
Oof.
I'm afraid.
Oof oof.
Good thing you got so many arrows. Leo.
Yep. Speaking of, I should
Well, first of all, my desperate prayer means I regain my
Lay on hands.
lay on hands, which means I'll raise my shields,
Okay.
lay on hands back,
Okay.
get up
Does
and
not seem to have attack of opportunity.
with my last action, I'll make it regret that fact with a throw of my spear.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't your desperate prayer an action, or is that free action?
No, that's just I saw my turn.
Whoa, nuts. Nice. Yeah, you chuck your spear at it, and you strike it for a solid amount of piercing damage. Yeah, you,
An
you will see
additional-
it definitely like drive straight through it harder and stronger than you've ever known your spear to before.
Ooh, yeah. Nice. An additional 4 good damage as well.
It's also got what, sorry? Oh, 4 more good damage. Yeah, no, you're right. Minus 4. There we go.
It's huge.
On its turn, it bellows in skeletal rage and swings its claws again, swiping across Beck and Leon.
Okay, so I have 28 AC now. What's the
28. It hits you, Beck, for 22 slashing damage,
Oh, there goes on.
something God healed for?
and misses you, Leon. Your shield easily deflects the blow.
Nice.
And then finally, it jabs with its
Oh wait.
final action.
I used my reaction. I forgot I had it.
Oh yeah,
It's been so long.
Reasonable.
Retributive strike, which is 2 plus my level, so 9.
It's like 9. Let's go.
And then I'll make. As part of this, I will step towards it and strike at it without throwing. I've been missing.
But missing. And...
I will reroll.
Whoa.
Might as well.
Might as well. How do I just do the attack part? Oh, there we go.
Hey.
That does hit, striking it for a
23.
solid amount.
27.
Good, right?
Yeah.
Plus 4, so minus 5 plus 4, so 22.
Oh yeah.
Striking it, yeah, and it aims its last jab at you, Leon, but misses.
Nice.
Idiot. You were hitting me every turn, you son.
Like you just stepped forwards and stabbed it. You know what's it gonna do? Moonsong,
Yeah.
you're up.
You did, Tom. The
Yeah,
classic.
Didn't say anything yet, but yeah.
Yeah, you did. I saw your lips move, you liar. Oh,
You're just making-
He's smacking his lips like.
Eating homemade pizza
Ooh,
Delicious. You have some-
with no cheese because I can't eat
Oh,
cheese.
I mean that is barely.
ruined. It's just bread.
Oh, no sandwich.
I will do a 3-action 3rd level heal.
Free. Oh, what do you mean? Like it's a free action? That's.
The different word.
Wait, 3. I
So
thought 2 action was where that was.
Free action is pretty.
3 action,
Free action is the
AoE.
AoE version.
It's gonna hit it as well and heal you too.
Hmm.
What
And
level?
Bomok, I
Third.
guess. 3rd level, yeah. So it's a 3d8. I'm just gonna roll a 3d8 because
But that's how it works.
Yeah, no, I
You
wouldn't.
don't get your like wisdom or anything or charisma or anything on it. Like
No, I don't think
It's
so
only
for
crazy
heal.
when you do a 2 level one, but then it's straight up an 8. They were like, let's make it.
You restore.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
no, the like range on one thing is pretty good. Like,
Yeah,
you
throw the 3d8.
Level action is one that you really like. But I mean, like,
Not the worst 3d8 I've ever seen.
I'll still click the button now, but
okay, thanks.
So it makes a fortitude save. Yeah, gotta get the save. Oh, it fails. It does not critically fail, but oh no, it does. 'Cause it's a natural 1.
Ooh.
So yeah, your healing energy sears it mightily. Minus 28.
Oh, and I'm over my max.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Tom, you get healed as well, by the way.
yeah, all of you.
Yeah,
Oh,
you get healed full.
Range.
Hey.
Is this what it feels like to be healed?
Leon, don't you touch yourself every night? You should know.
Well, yes, but it's different when somebody else is doing it for you, you know.
Gotcha.
Okay, back, you're up.
Oh, try to attack this sucker.
Power attack this bad boy.
A bad boy.
Oof. So close to crits.
It's tempting to reroll just.
So close to crit. But alas, just a hit. But even so,
Alas, just
Killed
21 damage on it.
you smash it to pieces.
Oh,
And we leave combat.
How's that?
Search for your enemies.
well, you weren't kidding about that.
3 doors?
Yeah. Wait, is this a door? Is that a plaque or what's that?
Yeah, no, you see a large stone slab with obvious like edges. It's not like a hidden door or anything. It's got obvious like edges to it and stuff.
Hmm.
Not completely dissimilar to the front door, to the south of you.
Wait a minute, I see like a line
I
here.
should open it for like 2 seconds before my rage runs out, but you know, I consider it briefly, and before I can do too much, I become small again.
Do you guys see this line over yonder?
Yeah, I think that's just a weird map artifact by Chris. We see,
Yeah,
like,
no, it's not. It's actually a dynamic lighting artifact from your torch with the new.
Interesting.
Makes sense. Right, yeah, but you made me small. And yeah, I kind of turn a moonsault, like, good work.
You too. Definitely expect you to increase the size that much.
Oh, you didn't say I didn't expect you to be so big.
Yeesh.
Why did I never
You'll
say
get used to it when you spend more time with him.
that's a lot.
I'll investigate the pile real quick. Is it just like naked bone?
Yeah, now I mean the scraps of armor like mixed in. Now they've collapsed back in, but it does just seem to be a pile of bones.
Hmm.
They definitely did put off some pretty big defenses for this place.
Yeah, so do you think if we didn't screw the pooch on that whole entry alarm system, this might have never happened?
Kind of shrug, like, I'm sure there's some way to get in right without setting it off.
Yeah.
Unless they made it, unless they had a way back in, but like...
Definitely.
I just hope we're not smashing the forefathers.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if there was no way back in anymore about it. I mean, the person said it would test us, right? So it didn't sound like there was a way out of it without doing anything dangerous.
True enough. Okay, I'm gonna head over towards the slab.
That kind of straw when you reckon this one next?
Gonna look at the top to see if there's more runes.
Yeah, anyone who wants to can make a perception check to attempt to perceive this. Yeah, GR.
I was gonna say -2, but I don't think it really matters.
-2? No? Oh, for your
Because I don't have temp anymore.
Yeah, no one perceives anything. This actually just seems to be a regular stone slab to everyone. No one perceives anything particularly strange about it.
I turn to Leon and like, alright, do you want to give me a hand with this one then?
Sure.
Right, give it a good old shove together.
Bam. GR
Okay,
roll.
well, that 30.
No, I want to help.
You want to help?
I mean,
Okay.
I'm doing it as well.
Together, you shove as hard as you can against it because you're both assisting each other. It's like you shove hard against it, and then you try lifting it instead or sliding it, and it just remains completely solid in place.
Maybe it's, I don't know, it lives when something else happens.
Well, nothing to be done about it now. What about you two? You could keep on going.
Yeah.
Alright. Well.
1 HP difference between our max HPs, Leon.
Well, I was just thinking more like emotionally,
Oh.
spiritually.
No, oh, that's why. We should have the same. There we go. I forgot that I needed to increase my hit points by 1 because of the level.
From what?
Yeah, there we go. From toughness,
Oh.
plus 1 HP per level.
Yeah.
We have to manually add it.
I don't have toughness.
It might be in the options,
You
right?
have one more Conrad modifier and it doesn't
Yeah,
have him jump
that's
up.
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, I'll try and open the door, Chris.
Okay, yeah, the wooden door ahead of you. I mean, it creaks a bit as you open it, but it opens easily enough.
Using the rays of shield exploration
Space
activity.
beyond. And in fact, yeah, give me a second. I'm just gonna, before you
Don't
move
like that
on.
green line laser tripwire we see here, because I Mission Impossible over it.
That's just where I've moved the dynamic lighting to the map layer, I'm
Sure
afraid.
it is. Sure it is.
Let me just move that like that. So yeah, your shield illuminates the room like this.
Oh,
And you catch a
well,
glimpse of a rune on the floor in the bottom corner of the room.
I want to investigate for traps near me on my way to the
Okay,
rune.
yeah, give me a perception check.
Got a trap.
GR it.
Of course, I would never know GR or something.
I have enough trap perception.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't determine anything trapped in or about this room.
Alright, there's a rune in there. It seems to be clear though. Let me just take a gander.
Okay, as you
Incinerated.
step that far forwards, you step into this space here, and the floor beneath you clicks slightly.
Oh no.
And
Uh-oh.
a small hole opens in the center of the room in the floor, and a pillar slides up out of the floor and extends several blades outwards from it,
And that's cool.
outwards from itself, and
The
begins
fucking
spinning
dojo?
around rapidly, like whirlwinding basically.
It's so small.
And I mean, yeah, but it reaches to Leon, I'm afraid.
I know. I figured, but it does.
But yeah, it's a blade. It's a spinning blade pillar, if I had to describe it. And okay. 20 plus that. Ooh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. What's your AC? Do you have a shield?
30.
You said you raised it or not. Yeah, 30. Okay. It's like it strikes you.
Ugh.
For. Yeah, as it spins around, whizzing around, you take 22 slashing damage. As it
Usually, I
catches
can't see the reaction in exploration.
you. Actually, yeah, initiative should be rolled at this point, but it pops up, makes a spin. No, you can't actually. Yeah, makes a spinning blade attack against one adjacent creature, then rolls initiative. So, unfortunately, against this
22.
one you can't. It's too fast.
Oh.
But yeah, now everyone roll initiative.
And again, apparently +2 because that's how this works.
Don't want to go for too much
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's just sort it a little bit more. We won't go too far past. Honestly, there's not a huge amount left to this, but we'll just sort out what's going on here and then.
It's gonna get disintegrated and it's done.
Actually, you know what? Let's just roll initiative and then pick up the start of this in this encounter next time, because I don't know if there's going to be like a really. It's not the greatest place to end, but I don't know if there's going to be a really great place to end in this whole place. So, yeah, you last, Leon. Go ahead and roll initiative with her.
Sure.
With perception, as you take the 22.
Ew.
Oh, he's so fast. Oh, he's GR. Okay, cool. Descending, great. And we'll just pick up from the moment this trap is activated next time.
Cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything like makes more sense than right now. So
Yeah.
Good session. A lot of progress.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
made it some places, you know.